WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. WFAN Sports Flash.
And this report brought to you by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Another lousy night for the two local teams. In Arlington, the Yankees lost to the Rangers 8-5 in 10. You had the blown save by Devin Williams, gave up the game-tying home run to Jock Peterson in the 9th. In the 10th, Jake Bird gives up the game winner to Josh Young. Manager Aaron Boone post-game, well aware Williams has struggled, but he stands by him.
Look, we have really good guys down there, Devin included, and we got to be able to close out these games, though. So, he's been through some tough moments already this season, and we got to bounce back from it.
That's 4 straight losses for the Yankees. You look up now, they're tied with Seattle for the 2nd and 3rd wild card spots. With the win, Texas just a game and a half out in the wild card race. Will Warren, Nathan Eovaldi tonight on the Fan at 8:05. Aaron Judge is expected to be back in the lineup. In the loss last night, a 10th home run of the season for Giancarlo Stanton. Meantime, the Mets lost to the Guardians in 10-7-6. Cleveland scored the go-ahead run on a throwing error by Brett Beatty. Gabriel Arias, a 3-run homer in the 6th, added a sac fly in the 10th. Turned out to be the big one because the Mets did come back with a run in the bottom half. Not enough, though. Clay Holmes, LT Allen tonight, Mets Odyssey Radio at 7:10 p.m. The Mets have lost 6 of 7, and they're a game and a half behind Philadelphia, who beat Baltimore 13-3. The Buccaneers said to be signing Teddy Bridgewater. The Spurs gave De'Aaron Fox a 4-year Supermax extension worth $229 million. This report brought to you by Flushing Bank and by Robert Half. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why their recruiters' expertise and award-winning at work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. 78 in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
That one was shocking last night. I got to admit, I'm shocked by it. And maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe the joke's on me for trusting the Yankees. I haven't bet in a while, but if I could, and actually I thought about it, but it was too late to jump in before that game. I would have bet big on the Yankees last night, thinking they were going to bounce back. We alluded to that yesterday. As far as Max Fried being on the mound, I don't really trust Texas. And then the Yankees go out there, and they start out thinking that, okay, here we go. Yanks will be back on track. Aaron Judge coming back tomorrow, and we'll see if they could get some winning done here. And unfortunately, it's more the same. Just not clean, crisp baseball, wasted at bats with guys on, the inability to tack on. Fried nowhere near what he needs to be, and that's the issue that you have when you invest big in starting pitching. I understand why the Yankees did it with Fried, certainly as insurance for Garrett Cole and you lose him, but you're investing big money in starting pitchers where at best they go out there every 5th day and give you 7 solid innings, and Fried has been a legit ace. Nobody's going to argue that, but when the Yankees have needed him here the last couple of times out, nowhere near good enough, and that's just par for the course with any starter. Even the best starters aren't perfect all the time, so you didn't get the best Fried effort. They weren't clean and crisp throughout the course of the ball game. They didn't tack on enough, and then you get to the issue with the bullpen, and this is really the biggest issue here, where now, a lot of teams do this, but the Yankees, it seems, it's just magnified with them. And maybe because of the other things. Fried wasn't great, the inability to tack on. The more you dive into that pen, the more you need multiple guys to be perfect. That is just a tall order. So even though Duvall was much better, Bednar comes in, he does the job. Obviously, Weaver before those guys. You felt it watching the game. You felt it because we all knew this. And I'm getting to the bigger point in just a second here. Bear with me. We all knew this prior to the start of last night's game. Once the Yankees made all those additions, we talked about it. Bednar is going to be the closer or should be the closer. Duvall maybe at some point if Bednar doesn't have it. We all knew one thing. Devin Williams was not the closer. And yet the one person or the one organization that needs to make that decision, the Yankees, whether it's Aaron Boone, whether it's Cashman, whether it's the entire Yankees organization, the one entity that needs to make the decision on it, they chose poorly in Devin Williams. Now, we all knew that that was the case. So what'd you think was going to happen last night in a one-run game where you're hanging on, this guy does his job, this guy does his job, all right, here we go, Williams got to get the job done. And he coughs it up. Like, is anybody surprised by that? Now, the bigger issue is that the reason Williams was out there to close out the game is because instead of prioritizing what's best for the team and trying to win every single game, the Yankees prioritized Devin Williams' feelings. They don't want to hurt his feelings and make him not the closer anymore. Big bad Devin Williams, who everybody, including my partner who's on vacation, told me Williams is the best closer in the sport, lights out. And you know what my counter was? And then you guys called me like, so you're crazy, I can't agree with you. But yet I'm proven right months later. Bullpens are fickle. There's no guarantee that Devin Williams, because of what he did in Milwaukee for a certain period of time, it was going to transfer here in New York, no less, with the Yankees. And we learned quickly that that was not going to be the case. You're expecting Mariano Rivera. You didn't quite get that with Devin Williams. So he already lost his closer's job due to a brutal start to the season. Then he righted the ship a little bit, but even at his best, like, come on, does anybody really trust Devin Williams in a big spot? And that's where we hope the Yankees are moving forward, in a big spot. Do you trust Devin Williams? The answer is unequivocally, no, you don't. We all know that. And I think even the Yankees know that, because either they're stupid or they're placating players' feelings. And I don't think they're stupid. I think it's the latter. They're placating players' feelings. So instead of Boone having the guts to say, you know what, we just acquired some loaded arms, I'm going to let the game dictate how I go about things. These guys all got to be on notice in the pen. I may use Williams in the 6th. Depending on matchups, I may use him in the 8th. I may ask him to close out a game. I don't know. But he isn't guaranteed anything as our closer. Based on performance. That's what it's about. Williams cost himself the closer's job. It's not Boone's fault, not Cashman's fault. It's his fault. He's to blame. No one but himself to blame. And the Yankees still hesitate to hold him accountable. He pitched poorly. He doesn't deserve to close. That is like 101. Accountability 101. Guy doesn't perform. Like, you want to get into the yelling at the base coach, yelling at Jazz, getting on Volpe, getting on Dominguez, Wells, whatever. You want to get on those guys. Like, that's a whole nother thing. I still would. We went over that yesterday. We don't need to rehash that. Performance-based issues. What are you afraid of Devin Williams for? He stunk. What, you afraid you're going to hurt his feelings? Devin, we don't want to hurt your feelings. He's a big leaguer making millions. Hey, this is the New York Yankees. You don't get the job done. Time to move on. I'm sorry. Just like they did the first time. It took forever, but they did it the first time. The only reason why he got his job back is because of an injury to Luke Weaver. So we're placating guys' feelings as opposed to putting the best people in the best spot to get the job done. And I'm not saying that Bednar is going to be the perfect fit, or Doval, or whoever it may be, or Weaver. They need to figure that out. But it shouldn't just be, well, Williams is our closer. Why? Why? When we all knew that he hasn't earned the right to stay in that closer's role. Not when you're bringing in better arms, guys that have been more proven than him this year. Obviously, we know Williams' history. But even with that, let the bullpen work itself out. And we know that it's going to now. Like, Boone wouldn't commit to Williams after the game, nor should he. But is it too little, too late? You already blew a game that you had to win. Rangers are chasing you down. You had them beat. That's a game the Yankees got to win. Stand a big home run. Yankees are in control for the most part, and they cough it right back up. Not to mention Jake Bird and that nasty stuff. Giving up a home run to that doofy-looking scrub, Josh Young. I mean, come on. Who did?
Jake Bird just got optioned.
They just optioned Jake Bird? Thank you, Hoff. I did not see that. I mean, think about that. All the praise from all you guys who have been ripping. I'm proud that I stayed consistent with this. All you guys that have been ripping Brian Cashman for years. One trade deadline, he adds a few bullpen arms. You go, oh, he crushed it. Greatest GM, bow down to the Cashman. Oh, yeah. One of the guys that he brought in already optioned 2 games in. Him and his nasty stuff with his 4 ERA in Colorado. Now, I'm not saying he can't be fixed. I'm not saying he doesn't have nasty stuff. I'm saying that when you acquired a guy like that, hey, here's the good news, Yankee fans. He's under control. You didn't give up anything to get him, and he's under control. Don't worry about it. You got Bird here for a while. All those brilliant moves. Doesn't matter who's better or not, just as long as he's got control. That's what the priority should be. You didn't give up anything. Win. And you got him under control. Win. It's always option 2 games in. Who cares about that? Why prioritize winning now? But the bigger issue, and I still believe, with all that being said, I still believe in this Yankees team as far as being a postseason team and as far as being scary. You saw what they could do. Their offense is still on par with the best in Major League Baseball. Now, another issue, and this goes back to the structure of the ball club, the construction of a roster, that when Judge comes back, now you're not going to have Stan there because he can't play the outfield. And you can try to put him in the outfield. Guess what's going to happen? He's going to be bad out there, at the very least. At the worst, he might get hurt again. And then you're going to be without him for a while. So even when the Yankees are getting Judge back, it's going to be at the cost of losing Stanton because Stanton can't play the field. So that goes back to the roster construction, where you have a guy on your team, and I've been complaining about this for years, so it's nothing new, with Giancarlo Stanton, who is a big threat every time he steps in the batter's box. He could strike out, sure. He could also hit a ball on a line, a laser beam like you saw last night, 9 million miles. We know the Yankees' strength. Any guy that steps into the batter's box at any given time can hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's their strength. That's it. It's scary, strikes fear in opponents. When it's clicking, they bludgeon people. That's why you get the run differential. That's why the stats are the way that they are. But it's not there consistently enough, specifically in the postseason. And right now, they're not doing the other things well enough to even have that matter. Pitching, defense, base running, all those other things. But look no further than the prime example, Devin Williams, when we use the word continuously, accountability with the New York Yankees. There are different levels of accountability, different ways to hold guys accountable. Stupid mistakes, head up the rear end, post-game press conferences, things that they say there. Also, play, the play. You can hold guys accountable for poor play. Devin Williams, based on his performance this year, has not earned to keep the closer's role. And I guarantee he won't moving forward, but still, it should have been prior to blowing last night's game. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Johnny in Philadelphia starts us off. What's up, John?
Hey, Sal. You know, that opening monologue that you just gave should be recorded and played before every Yankee home game so that the truth can continue to be revealed, because this system of the Yankees, the front office, Boone, the coaching staff, it's the same thing. We talk about the same thing every year, and I just don't understand how we continue to be fed this garbage and these excuses. And I'll say this. I'm frustrated after watching that game. I predicted that ending was going to happen. I sat there, and I'm like, this is what's going to happen. Sure enough, it did.
Yeah,
Boone
and you weren't alone, John. I saw Marash do it on Twitter. We're all feeling the same thing. All right, well, they got this far. Now is Williams really going to be able to close it out? So we all were thinking the same thing. Yeah,
absolutely. And if they lose the series against Texas and they slip out of the playoffs or they hold on to that third wild card, Boone needs to be on another flight going back to New York. He cannot coach this team going into this Houston series. It's a complete mess. Something needs to change. Phillies did it a couple years ago. I'm not saying.
All right, but let me ask you, because I understand that thought process. If they fired Boone today, do you really think that it changes?
I don't know. I don't know. And you know what? The Phillies did it, and it changed for them. So we can't continue to do the same thing. Otherwise, we're going to talk about this for the next 2 months.
Understood, John, and thank you for the call. This has been going on for years. I mean, I don't know how many times I got to say the same thing over and over. Now, again, they're not going to listen to me, nor should they, the New York Yankees. I'm not expecting that. I'm just saying, like, you out there have been saying the same thing, whatever it is that you feel. I've been saying one thing, BT says another, like, whatever. We've been, for me, if I were going to make a change back to 2021, why would I change my core beliefs 4 years later? Why? Just because I'm not going to get fooled by an ALCS appearance in which they got swept and totally overmatched. I'm not going to change my beliefs based off of them getting to the World Series. I watch it and I think deeper than just the results. Yeah, the results say you win 90 games and you got to the World Series. It's deeper than that to me. I think they were fortunate to get there last year with the lack of quality opponents that they played, and then they got really beat up bad in the World Series. Same thing when you go back to the 2022 ALCS. Yeah, they made it there, but, I mean, did they look like they belonged? They're two different things. They didn't look like they belonged in the World Series against the Dodgers. They didn't look like they belonged in the ALCS against the Astros a few years ago. The inconsistencies throughout the course of the regular season, that was not an issue prior to 2021. That's why that, to me, was the delineation. 2018, I thought they were going to win the World Series. 2019, I thought they were going to win the World Series. 2020, same thing. Even with the shortened year, thought that was going to be the year. Like every point since 2017 where Aaron Judge was leading the way, I felt like the Yankees were a World Series winning team. And it just never happened. And then in 2021, they got worse. And in the regular season, they weren't any good. That's, to me, where we talk about nipping things in the bud with accountability. To me, in 2021, if you were paying attention, that would have been the time for a change, to be proactive and get ahead of it. Okay, time for a change in regime here. Let's see what a different vision can bring. And instead, they double down and they go out there and acquire some lefty bats. Yeah, finally. With Rizzo and Gallo at the time. They make the wild card game. They get bounced in the first game with the Red Sox. 2022, they start out like the 98 Yankees, although I remember saying, this to me doesn't look like the 98 Yankees. I think they're playing way above their heads. They come crashing down in the second half. They still get to the postseason, get to the ALCS. They get swept. 2023, they don't make the postseason. So think about all that. Like, this is not just reacting to getting swept by the Marlins or losing to the Rangers. This is a bigger picture issue that has been going on for years. The standard that I would have for the Yankees is far greater than anything that we've seen since 2021. The results, whether it's an ALCS in 2022 or a World Series a year ago, that's where they're going to push back. But to me, those results were more the aberration. The Giants also made the postseason in 2022. That was the outlier. That was the aberration. Look what's been the norm the last several years. You could do the same thing with McAdoofus leading the way in 2015. Oh, they made the postseason. Look at it. Yeah, but that was the outlier. That was the aberration. I have to respect and give credit to the Yankees for their sustained success, meaning roughly a 90-win team the majority of seasons, and having some postseason success. Obviously not to the levels that we would like, but still, when you win 90-plus games, like their worst, the Yankees' worst is better than most bests even, a lot of times, when you look at the landscape of Major League Baseball. And they think that that's good enough. We know it's not. Look a little deeper than just the results of getting to a World Series or getting to an ALCS a couple years ago. Look at the structure, the infrastructure of this team, the lack of accountability. It's just, to me, it's a problem I fundamentally disagree with the way that they operate. It doesn't mean that they can't win. Hey, prove me wrong. Shut me up. You got to the World Series last year. Yes, it was with Soto, but still, there's no saying that. I still think the Yankees lineup strikes fear in the opponent and they can hit their way to some success. They probably will. Whether it's a division title, a postseason spot, maybe even a postseason series win or two. I don't believe that they are organizationally, structurally, foundationally good. Doesn't mean they can't win, though, in spite of that. Adam from South Jersey. What's up, Adam?
Hey, Sal, how are you, bud?
How are you,
going to disagree. I'm all right, man. I'm going to disagree with you. They are stupid, all right? And I'm going to tell you why they're stupid. They're stupid because they're playing baseball by a damn script, Sal.
Yep.
A script they won't deviate from. I'll tell you, as a football coach, Sal, I got a lot of peers that, football coaches do the same things. They make scripts, right? And some of these coaches, no matter what happens, they stick to their script. And it doesn't matter what the play situation is. Me as a football coach, what I would do is have what I call the loose script. And let's say on 1st and 10, I ran a dive and he lost 4 yards. And my scripted second play was a toss. I'm not running the toss. I'm running a play-action pass, and I'm changing it. It's the same thing with baseball. They have a script. This guy pitches this inning. This guy pitches this inning.
Like it's infuriating. It's infuriating. I can't watch the script. I can't.
Sal, I turned the game off when Williams came in because I said, you know what? I know what's happening. I'm not going to watch
knew the
this.
script.
I went down to my basement.
We knew the script, and they didn't. How did they not know the script? They're the ones who wrote it, for goodness sake.
It drove me out my mind. I went down to my basement. I sat down. I had a drink. I looked at my phone. I saw they lost in the 10th inning. I chuckled, and I said, you bunch of morons. Because that's what they are. And for whatever reason, they think that everything they're doing scripted is going to work out. And you know what? You might be right. The talent might overcome it. They're probably going to win games eventually. It's going to happen. They're not going to lose these games forever. But the bottom line is this, and I'm a diehard Yankee fan, 56 years old all my life. They got no chance to win nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the call, Adam. We appreciate the passion as always. I'm not going to go as far as to say they have no chance. You know, the Yankees are always going to be a tough out because of the way that they can beat you with the sticks, especially with Judge coming back. But again, with Judge coming back, now you lose Stanton. So, like, I'm not saying that's a wash. Obviously, you'd rather have Judge, but it doesn't really help much when you're taking Stanton's prolific bat when he's on a streak like this. You know, maybe wait a week or two. Give Judgy a little extra rest. Wait a week or two until Stanton inevitably cools off. Then you go with it. And obviously, I'm being facetious. I know when Judge is healthy, you got to get him back in that lineup. But it's a problem. Getting Judge back should not be a problem. It is a problem for the Yankees because of the structure of their roster. They've got a guy in Stanton that they can't get in the lineup other than DH. So now when you have a guy that's hurt like Judge and you need to get his bat in the lineup at DH, what do? I mean, I'm 9 moves ahead. I wanted to move on from Stanton years ago. I never wanted him in the first place in 2018. Here we are, fast forward from 2018 to now. And even years ago, nope, still don't want Stanton. He's a roadblock. He's getting in the way. You need that spot available there. Not thinking necessarily for situations like this, but you were thinking, give Judge some rest, give another guy some rest, have it be a little more versatile. Instead of a player who all he could do is hit when he gets up there on occasion. Stanton's greatest strength is striking fear in the opposing pitcher. And then obviously when he connects, he hits laser beams. I don't think he's some great hitter. I think he strikes out a ton. I think he's inconsistent. He's streaky. When he's on, he looks like you can't get him out. He's gone on streaks in the postseason, and you see that and you think, oh, we love this guy. And it makes you forget that he can't run the bases. He never is healthy. He can't field. And he's not a consistent offensive performer the way that maybe he was at his peak with the Marlins. I'm not trying to pick on Giancarlo Stanton. It's just a bigger picture issue to me. And when you look at the Yankees lineup at its best and compare it to the rest of the American League, who's to say that they couldn't get hot in the postseason the way that they did last year and go on a run? It's possible. I mean, we all see what they're doing. It doesn't seem likely, but it's still possible. It'd be nice if they had somebody who could get some outs, though, or, catch the ball and throw it. But that might be too much to ask. 888-808-1019. The good news is Jake Bird is under control, like we said before, through 2029. So until 2020, you have Jake Bird through the 2028 season. You don't have to worry about him becoming a free agent until 2029. Yanks didn't give up anything, and they have him under control. And he's down in the minors, going to work on some stuff now, but you've got him locked up under control. BT and Sal on the Fan.
The Yankees take on Texas, 8:05 tonight.
Giddy up, baby. Giddy up. God, it's a home run.
Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play on the Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
The Fun in the Sun event is on at Nielsen Dodge. Your new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram is here with 0 down payment, 0% financing available, and the credit help you deserve. Now that's fun.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude X 4x4, just $359 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
You can get up to $1,500 over book value for any trade.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So, for super hot deals and fun savings, remember,
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Make this the summer event.
With approval term Jeep 24 Ram 42 months due at sign, Jeep 4654 Ram 4989 and tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit flushingbank.com today. Member FDIC.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, fast, friendly delivery, and flexible financing to fit your budget. Go to mybobs.com for details. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com.
Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. If you're facing hair loss like I am, I would like to share my journey at Great Many, New York City's cutting-edge hair growth studio. Looking to regrow your hair safely and effectively? Forget those risky pills with scary side effects and costly trips to Turkey. At Great Many, they use PRP, regenerative medicine trusted by pro athletes for recovery. It's a natural, non-surgical solution that really works. Check out my journey and visit greatmany.com/fan to learn more and save $200 today. Don't hesitate. Take action now like I have. Go to greatmany.com/fan to book your treatment or get a free consultation.
Talk New York sports on the Fan.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This is Sal Licata. You definitely don't want your AC system to fail this summer. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's air conditioning experts. Have them check your cooling system now. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They are the real deal. Go to edisonhvac.com.
Your gut does more than just digest. It drives your energy, mood, and immunity. At Terra Origin, we blend ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with cutting-edge science to support your gut and whole body wellness. Since 2016, Healthy Gut is crafted with safe, powerful herbs, probiotics, and nutrients, rooted in tradition, proven by science. Feel better from the inside out. Terra Origin, ancient insight, modern wellness. Available at terraorigin.com and select retailers.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Run or walk with Giants legends. The Giants Foundation will host a 5K race and kids run presented by Quest on Sunday, October 26th at 9 a.m. at MetLife Stadium. Net proceeds will benefit the Giants Foundation. All participants will receive a commemorative t-shirt, and after the race, stay for a post-race festival with appearances by Giants legends and a live DJ. Register now at giants.com/5K. The Giants Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
PT Sal back on the Fan, 888-808-109, the number to call.
Don't worry, it's not just the Yankees. I got some issues with the Mets as well. Now all of a sudden have lost 6 of 7 after getting swept in San Diego, 2 of 3 to the Giants, and then that one last night. You know, Manaea starts out the game pitching well, which is something you need to see. At least he gave him a little bit of length, 5 2/3 before he petered out, and it gives up the 5 runs in the 6th inning. But Alonso's big 3-run homer gets him back. The Mets come back and tie the game. That's a game they got to win. I'm sorry. After you go down 5-0 and come back and tie it the way that they did, they got to win that game. And for me, the biggest issue was Sarborough, the third base coach. not being aggressive there with Tyrone Taylor. Come on, if you're watching this game in real time, you see Lindor hit the ball down the line. You know Taylor's in at first base, pinch running for Alvarez, who got the base hit. So everything's in place. You got the speedy runner at first base. Lindor rips one down the line into the corner. The right fielder's playing more towards center field. And Taylor is going around the bases, and yet Sarbro was being cautious and playing it safe. Hey, when you play not to lose, when you play it safe, guess what happens sometimes? You lose. I understand the logic of, well, you don't get thrown out at home there. This is what Mendoza said after the game. You don't get thrown out at home there with Soto and Alonso coming up. Dude, first of all, you had to know that they're going to not pitch to Soto because Lindor's at second base. That's number one. And if he does get thrown out at home, then what's the worst that could happen? He gets thrown out at home. You still have a runner in scoring position for Soto and Alonso anyway. And if they walk Soto, so be it. You still have that same guy with Alonso there. So the difference is a sac fly. That's the difference. And what, Pete got to be perfect? I mean, the guy he was 4 for 4 on the night. You think he's going to go 5 for 5? Play the odds there or the percentages. He's not perfect. He's human. Can't get it done every time. The Mets had the Guardians on the ropes. The crowd was going nuts. You could feel the explosion and the anticipation of the game-winning run coming around to score from first on that Lindor double. It should have happened. Sarbro got soft. He got cautious. He was thinking Soto and Alonso, and they made a mistake. Send them. Put the pressure on the defense. Make them make a play. It's not Vladimir Guerrero out there in right field with a cannon. Make them make a play. They botched the relay anyway, but still, even without that, it would have taken a perfect throw from the right fielder to the cutoff man, then another perfect throw from the cutoff man to home. Perfect throw, perfect tag, perfect. Like, it would have taken a lot to get Taylor out. You've got them on the ropes. They're scrambling. Oh, crap. Ball's in the corner. Make them make a play. No, they play the percentages. I disagree with Mendy on this. I love Mendy. I think he's wrong here. And Sarbro's, well, with those guys coming up, you can't do it. Nonsense. Be aggressive. Not reckless, aggressive. Aggressive would have been the right play there. And by the way, you have the wiggle room to be aggressive because of your newfound loaded bullpen and because you're home. And if the game goes to extra innings, you should benefit by that. Obviously, they ended up losing the way that they did, but still, like, what's the worst that could happen? All right, he gets thrown out and Soto and Alonso don't come through. You had that happen anyway. You took the foot off the gas. You gave them a break. I guarantee you, and this is how you know it was the wrong move to not send him there. I guarantee you that if you asked Cleveland, they would have said, whew, thank God they didn't send him. That's how you know it's the wrong move. I always do that with football. Like, if you're watching a team and you're rooting for the defense and the offense has a 4th and 1 and I want them to punt, I'm like, oh, please punt. Give back the ball. Give us back the ball. And they go for it. That's how you know, to me, it's the right move to go for it. I want them to punt. Well, in this case, there's no doubt the Guardians would have wanted the Mets to hold the runner at third. They weren't thinking, oh, yeah, send them. We're going to nail them at home. They're thinking, oh, crap. That's a weak move right there by the Mets. Soft. You got to be aggressive. You had them on the ropes. And not only that, I also disagree with having Beatty at third base. I know why Beatty's on the team. They value his lefty bat. No Jesse Winker, so they need another lefty bat. They value his lefty bat and his versatility. Playing the matchups. Problem is, Mauricio clearly the only good defensive third baseman they have. I'd rather have Acuna on the roster because he, to me, can beat you more ways than Beatty can. Beatty's not, like, since when do we think Brett Beatty is some prolific offensive player? He's got the potential to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's not good consistently. I know he got the base hit last night. All right, big deal. He needed to hit a two-run homer, not a single. Luis Angel Acuna could have hit a single, and then he could have stole second and got into scoring position. Angel Acuna could have made the play at second base, or at least you have him at second, maybe McNeil at third, and you're better off. Beatty's not a strong defensive player. Neither is Vientos. At some point, the Mets are going to have to make a decision here that they're going to either value the offense or the defense. So far, they're choosing the offense. But when you continue to have plays like that with Beatty making the bad error, that costs them the game. I think Acuna could help you win games more. You sacrifice a little bit of the offense. Unless Beatty starts hitting the cover off the ball. Anyway, it's both the Mets and the Yankees today drawing the ire here. 888-808-1019 as they continue to just... These teams, man, they've been mirrored It's weird. I know the Mets are closer. There's although they're a game and a half back of first place, falling a little bit further out of it after last night. You know, the Yankees, we know where their standings are in the American League, falling out of almost a playoff spot here if they're not careful the next 2 nights. But still, they were at the highest of highs on June 13th, and then from then they both went into the rut. Haven't been able to really fully dig themselves out, and both teams were crushing defeats last night. Johnny is in Bayonne. What's up, John?
Now, we're stuck in the same boat, Yankee fans and Mets fans. They got to get rid of these computers. They got to put out a steady lineup. They got to put out the players in the right positions. They got to go to the right calls in the bullpen, not these scripts that they make up the day before. And I'm going to bat Volpe 7th instead of the day before when he was 9th, and he's all right in that position. This stuff got to go. Analytics got to go, Sal. Let's go back to catching the ball, throwing the ball, hitting the ball. Not, OPS is on the thing, not batting averages no more. I mean, come on, Sal. Where are we going with this? Is this for the young kids that are into TikTok and all of that? This is baseball. I'm 66. I'm tired of it. Yeah. I want the old baseball players.
I know, but, John, see, to me there could be a balance, and thank you for the call, and we appreciate the passion. I'm not ready and willing to throw out the data. They were using data and analytics, I mean, much less, but go back to Davey Johnson in 1986 with the platoons and things like that. So I'm not opposed to applying data. I do think the way that the game got away from batting average and valuing contact was a detriment not only to the teams who were doing that, and it was the majority of the teams, but even more so the sport. The launch angle bull crap, the, all or nothing results. Well, who cares if they strike out? I'd rather live with the strikeouts, but the potential to hit a 3-run home run. That, to me, is not baseball. And you're seeing teams, like if it were me and I were building a team, I'd try to do it the way the Blue Jays were, or have at least a little bit of a better balance where you could have some power, but also have guys that could hit, get this, hit the baseball, play the game baseball, put the bat on the ball. And when you put it in play, you could either make them make the play and have them make mistakes, or you could find a hole somewhere, hit it in the gap, run the bases, steal some bases. That's baseball, putting pressure on the defense. Strikeouts are worthless. Yeah, home runs are great. You want to hit home runs, but you also want to play baseball. There's got to be a better balance. So I'm not ready to throw out the data and analytics the way that you were, John, but I do want to get back. I would like to see the majority of teams, specifically the Yankees in this case, because I don't think they do it nearly enough. It's why I was pounding the desk for Stephen Kwan, because he does exactly what I want. The guy plays baseball. Great defensive player, hits for high average, gets on base, good hitter. That would be a perfect complement to the powerhouses that the Yankees have in that lineup. Isaac is calling from Houston, Texas. What's up, Isaac?
Hey, what's going on, Sal? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Hey, man, I just wanted to make a quick, just my opinion. So I was watching that game yesterday, and first and foremost, Max Fried is your ace. I don't know why our aces are only going to the 5th inning now. Like, can they not go 6th and the 7th? I mean, like, what's going on,
Oh, he didn't have it last night, and that's the problem. Sometimes even the best pitchers aren't going to have it.
Yeah, man, but then you bring in Luke Weaver in the 6th inning. He's not a reliever, man. He's our closer. He's the one of the few pitchers that we have in that bullpen that actually has composure. That guy can pitch the 9th inning and close the game out. And I don't understand why you're bringing him in the 6th inning, okay? Like, he needs to go in the 9th. The way I would have done it, if I would have been managing that game yesterday, I would have literally brought in, okay, first and foremost, Max Fried would have gone the 6th inning, okay? Maybe even the 7th, because he's an ace, man. That's why you're getting paid for it.
But he threw 105 pitches in 5 innings, Isaac, and he didn't have it.
Listen, man, if you're ace, how come aces can't go above 100 pitches now? Like, come on, man.
No, he could, but it's not just about the pitch number. Did you watch the game? Seriously.
Yeah, I was watching the game.
Okay, so Max Fried was getting hit all over the place last night. He didn't have it.
Dude, as a man, and that's going to go to my next point. As a manager, you got to talk to your players, man. Like, you got to have Max Fried go in the 6th inning, maybe the 7th, okay? But then you bring in the 7th inning, you bring in the guy from the Pirates, your pitcher from the reliever that we have from the Pirates, or the guy from the Giants. And then you bring in Luke Weaver in the 9th. Well, and then that's how you close that game out.
Isaac, if you're
going honestly, man, Aaron Boone, I've been seeing this. I've been watching Yankee games, man. I'm a big Yankee fan. I went to the World Series last year, but Aaron Boone does not know how to manage, man. That guy, he needs to go, man. Like, he's already had his 7 years, 8 years, whatnot. Like, we need a change of culture in that bullpen. This guy does not know how to manage.
Here's the problem, Isaac, and thank you for the call. I disagree with your last part. I disagree actually with a lot of what you were saying. If you were watching the game, there's no way you would say push Max Fried to the 6th or 7th inning. Like, there's just no way. I don't know where you're getting that. I'm not opposed to having starting pitchers go 6 or 7 or trying to push guys. Last night was not the case. Last night was not the night to make that case to push Max Fried. He didn't have it. You're lucky you got 5 out of him with a lead. And you could say that you'd make Weaver your closer, that's fine, but think about this. When you only get 5 from Fried, and that's because Fried wasn't good enough, it's not because they pulled him too early. Fried last night wasn't good enough. He should get just as much blame as Devin Williams. Or, I don't even really blame Devin Williams. We all knew that was going to happen. Fried should get just as much blame as Aaron Boone and the Yankees for making Williams the closer. The problem is, you had to have some kind of combination, and this is the issue when you have starting pitchers that only go 5 innings. Now you need 4 guys, if you're going to go an inning per, 4 guys to be perfect if you don't tack on any runs. 4 guys. The hope would be, okay, Fried doesn't have it. Bats need to pick us up a little bit and score some more runs, give us some insurance, because odds are the 4 relievers, as good as they may be, are going to give up at least another run. Weaver didn't, nice and clean. Doval didn't, nice and clean. Bednar didn't, nice and clean, but still just that skinny 1-run lead over to Devin Williams. And you knew it was going to happen. It was predictable. And he gave it up. And if you want to say, well, maybe they could have pitched Williams in the 6th inning instead of Weaver, well, who's to say Williams wouldn't give it up then? Either way, you were going to need to score some more runs. They either needed Fried to go 6, and he couldn't last night, or have the bats do something better. And by the way, even if Williams, let's say Fried did go 6, Williams is still getting in the game. So either combination most likely would have had Devin Williams trying to close out that game. And obviously, as we know, that was going to end up with a loss. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. More your calls on both the Mets and Yankees when we come back.
The biggest football contest in Vegas, Circle Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million. Pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, which is way in my alley. 1 pick a week, no point spread. I love that. Last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Again, no point spread. That's perfect because I can't figure out spreads. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $21 million guaranteed. Visit circusports.com for details.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Obviously, the Yankees have a lot of work to do to get to the postseason, and we'll see if it's a wild card series or a division series. Right now, the Yankees have 2 guys who are making postseason starts, assuming they're healthy. Max Fried, your ace, no question. Carlos Rodon's had a solid year.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is former science with an Odyssey Sports Minute. 4-time All-Pro safety Justin Simmons has been rumored to be signing with, among others, the Eagles, Ravens, 49ers, and Raiders. Now, meantime, he recently added an elaborate full-leg sleeve tattoo, all in one painless session. A team of 5 artists worked while Simmons was under general anesthesia, a procedure that starts at $50,000. I hope it looks good. I'm former Esiason.
DQ presents The Sound of Happy. Hear that? That's the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ's signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide and services to showcase your invention. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there. To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CODE to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
If you're looking for a great price on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire, where you always get the guaranteed lowest price on Falcon tires. But it doesn't end there, because Town Fair Tire gives you free services for the life of your Falcon tires. More free services than any other tire dealer. That's why we say nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the new 2026 Kia Sportage X-Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
Getting engaged will be one of the most exciting times of your life, and the winning team at London Jewelers is there to help you pop the big question. They have the cutting-edge technology and trained professionals at London Jewelers to help you select a ring from their beautiful 2 by London collection, or even design the absolute perfect ring to fit within everyone's budget. So whether you're starting out or starting over, why not let the engagement experts at London Jewelers help you out? You could visit London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations, including the Americana Manhasset and the Ball at Short Hills.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It is time for the Wendy's Yankees
turning point of the game contest. Wendy's, the official hamburger of the New York Yankees. Be the first call to correctly identify yesterday's turning point of the game at 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326. And you'll receive 2 pairs of tickets to a Yankees 2025 regular season game. It's all from your flagship station for New York Yankees baseball, The Fan. Talking Yanks has Aaron Boone on every, what is today? Tuesday, I guess. So I'm just seeing some of the stuff come in. Boone told those guys, John Boy and Jake, to do a great job with Booney. So that Judge is going to play catch today for the first time. He'll DH tonight, and Boone said we'll see about him being in the lineup tomorrow. So maybe it's just a problem for one day if they could sit Stanton. I mean, the Yankees obviously got to figure out a way to get both Stanton and Judge in a lineup. So which one you're going to go with? Are you going to have Stanton, who's a liability wherever he plays? And they said they didn't want to do it in Texas, but maybe they don't have to. If Judge is in there at DH tonight and Stanton sits out, and then tomorrow you could get Judge potentially back in the outfield. I mean, I just don't know. I don't feel like what Judge's issue, and we saw him. He couldn't throw the ball. You tell me that's going to get better in 10 days? Maybe. I hope that that's the case for the Yanks. I just don't know if I trust that to be the case. We'll keep you updated if Boone says anything else of interest here, but I'm sure it's got to be a tough one for him today to go on with those guys after what the Yankees have, the way the Yankees have been playing here. It has been a brutal stretch of baseball. 888-808-1019. Tom is calling from Riverhead. What's up, Tom?
Hey, Sal. Thanks for taking the call.
How are you, Tom?
Show.
Thank you.
I'm good. I'm a Mets fan, so I'll preface with saying that, but I just want to comment on the Yankees. I just think Cashman is so out of touch. He reminds me of, if you remember, like 15 years back when Al Davis, I think he was firing Lane Kiffin. He put an overhead projector out. So it's basically like the end of Camelot, in my opinion. And it's just, to me, ridiculous, that this is the New York Yankees. And just the smugness of Cashman. I think you were saying on the radio yesterday how, with Stearns, he just, does something to have accountability, whereas with Cashman, it's what's the alternative? And I think, people are just tired of hearing that.
Hard to believe that his best answer for some of those questions, specifically like what do you do with Volpe, is what's the alternative? I mean, that's a rough question. Hey, son, why should we hire you? Why not? Like, that's the rule number. Like, you can't say that. And hey, why are you going with? But why not send Volpe down? Well, what's the alternative? Wow, that is a rough answer.
It's almost like a parent saying because I said so, and I think it just frustrates people. And just on that note, I just want to bring up a Boone point. I don't want to crash on the guy because I think he's in a tough spot where Cashman calls the shots. But you ever hear Boone in an interview trying to justify some of the things? It's a succession of ums and ahs. He should take freshman speaking 101 if he can't, have a meeting with the media.
Well,
you ever hear Mendoza?
But do you know why? You know why that's the case, Tom?
Because he's trying to make a lie at every moment to cover people.
Correct.
It is insanity to me. And I'm a Mets fan. I don't even care. But, I feel for Yankees fans at this point.
Same thing. And it doesn't matter what fan you are. We all watch baseball, and we could all put yourself in that perspective from whatever fan base it may be. You nailed it. The reason why there's the and the hesitation and the bumbling a little bit is because he's trying to protect the players and the team, and he doesn't want to say the truth. I mean, who's Boone fooling? We know Aaron Boone is as fiery a competitor as there is in the sport. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't have a problem getting his words out when he's getting into an umpire. Does he? Why is that the case? Because when he's talking to the media, it's calculated on what he wants to get out there because he's trying to protect the players, which we can also understand and respect. The problem is there's got to be a level of honesty to it and reality to it. And a lot of times with the Yankees, it's not. Not that Mendy's perfect, but he doesn't mince words. He'll call it how it is. Hey, we got to be better than that. Guy didn't get the job done. That can't happen. Whatever it may be. Holding guys accountable. Now, I will give the Yankees some credit. We were joking around about Bird. At least he's under control. But, hey, at least the Yankees held him accountable. Wasn't getting the job done. 2 performances. Instead of sitting there saying, well, you know what? We brought him in. We believe in his stuff. We'll figure it out. No, not getting the job done. Send him down. Oh, what an idea. But Cash, what are the alternatives? Leiter coming back, I'm assuming, is going to be the one. Okay. But still, there are other guys in that bullpen who they expected Greg Bird. What the hell is his name? Jake Bird to be better than that, or in the current bullpen. Jake Bird was supposed to be better than those guys. But now he didn't get the job done. I'm going to send him down. So he found an alternative, didn't he? Guys don't perform, send him down. Good for Cashman. Pete is on Long Island. What's up, Pete?
Hey, Sal, great show. Couple points I want to make. I saw the Yankee game last night. The first point, Weaver came in, did a great job. But here we go again with the analytics. Why not send him back out? Let him pitch the next inning. Why take him out? That's my point one.
It's because and let me interrupt there before you get to point number two, Pete. It's because most of these relievers are 1-inning pitchers. So the Yankees have a loaded bullpen. They're not going to go to Luke Weaver for 2 innings, although that would be a better idea at some point. I'm not saying it needed to be Weaver last night, but if you know that your starter went 5, instead of going to 4 different guys to be perfect, maybe try to get, an inning and a half, whatever, an inning and a third or an inning and 2/3 from 2 relievers as opposed to, and then you could go with 3 as opposed to having to go with 4 guys.
I understand. But my point is, when Weaver came out, Boone should have said, how you feeling? I feel great. Okay, go back out there. That's point one. Number 2 is, I don't understand. First of all, I'm not an analytics guy whatsoever. I think it's a big fraud in baseball. Big fraud. And the reason why I say that is because, number one, I can name so many pitchers that won 9 innings. And every 4 innings, 4 days, 5 days, they came back out, pitched another 9 innings. Now, 5 innings, come on out. Give me a break.
All right, but
the analytics is destroying this game. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and thank you for the call, Pete. I mean, it's not obviously the first time I've heard that before. I don't think last night Max Fried being taken out of the game after 5 innings has anything to do with analytics. If you watch the game with your eyes, you know that Max Fried didn't have it. And the Yankees, unfortunately, you think Aaron Boone wanted to go to Luke Weaver in the 6th inning? Like, come on. What are we talking about here? This wasn't analytics and Boone saying, well, that was the right lane for Weave right there. No. They wanted Fried to go 7 or 8 and hand it over to the bullpen. And by the way, it might have been the same result. Because if Fried went 8 innings and they handed over to Devin Williams in the 9th, same thing would have happened. Again, I know obviously literally maybe not the same thing, but do the math. If you had to go with Williams there, nobody would have felt comfortable. And Fried couldn't have done better than Weaver, Doval, and Bednar. Those guys were great. Didn't allow a run. So Fried wasn't the problem last night, other than the fact that it took 4 relievers. If you're telling me that if Fried went 6 and everybody else got pushed back and no Devin Williams, then that would have been the difference. I don't believe that that's the case because Boone said Williams is a closer. And that's the problem with last night in particular. BT and Sal on the Fan. More calls when we come back. Both the Mets and the Yankees. We'll get to some football a little bit later on as well. 888 as we start to get warm for the football season. Looking forward to it. 888-808-1019.
Mets or Yankees, Jets or Giants, doesn't matter. WFAN breaks it all down with passion, knowledge, and non-stop New York energy. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-4-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877-CARS-4-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Book
Book your next United flight from the NYC area's most on-time airport this summer, Newark.
Copyright 2025 United Airlines Inc. All rates reserved. A14 on-time performance data from DOT reporting carriers for arrivals and departures from mass flight for June 2nd to July 14th, 2025.
Life can change suddenly without any warning whatsoever. When you're sidelined due to a debilitating personal injury, it's crucial to have a trusted team on your side. The Rothenberg Law Firm has over 50 years of spectacular courtroom experience, ensuring that you're not facing those obstacles alone. Winning and collecting billions for our clients, we are committed to helping you recover whatever you deserve. The Rothenberg Law Firm, 1-800-624-8888.
Be a lawyer for injured ones. InjuryLawyer.com.
Ready to score the biggest deal in breakfast? It's waiting for you at Dunkin'. Dunkin' is serving up the ultimate $5 meal deal. Get one premium hot or iced coffee and any two delicious wake-up wrap sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're fueling up for a big day or keeping it casual, this deal has you covered. A smooth, bold Dunkin' coffee paired with two warm, tasty wake-up wraps? Now that's what we call a big deal. Excludes espresso and cold brewed beverages. Modifications may be an additional charge. Participation may vary. Limited time offer cannot be combined with offers. Exclusion and terms apply.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com.
Sal Licata here, and wow, are we thrilled with the incredible job CertaPro Painters did on our house. So clean, so efficient, they actually listened to us and even satisfied my wife, which, as you know, isn't easy. If you've been putting off painting because of the economy or tariff worries, don't. Painting your house is the easiest and most efficient way to protect and raise your home's value. Do what we did. Call CertaPro Painters today.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
The times you spend with your friends and loved ones are the best. Those selfies you take now will shape memories that will last a lifetime. Make sure you stay in the picture and stay away from fentanyl. Only 2 milligrams of fentanyl can cause an overdose. So learn about the dangers and risks of this frightening, deadly drug at stayinthepic.nj.gov. Don't risk your life and all those wonderful memories you're creating. Stay in the picture and stay away from fentanyl. Know all the risks. Visit stayinthepic.nj.gov.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Talk sports with Evan and Tiki. Afternoons from 2 to 7. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
We're sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. The Mets and Yankees both sliding. The Mets falling with the Guardians last night, 7-6 in 10. Cleveland scoring the go-ahead run on a bad throw by Brett Beatty on a bunt play. Brady postgame. What happened?
I just got to make a better throw on that play. The bunt was kind of up in the air, so I knew the runners were going to have a tough read on it just because it went straight up into the air. And then I got it on one hop, and I got to make a better throw than that.
Gabriel Arias with a 3-run homer in the 6th, then added a big sac fly in the 10th. Pete Alonso 4 for 5 with a home run, 4 RBIs. Did strike out, though, in a big spot in the 9th. Tonight, Clay Holmes takes on LT Allen. Mets Odyssey Radio has it at 7:10 p.m. The Mets a game and a half behind the Phillies in the NL East. Meantime, the Yankees blow a game in Texas. They lose 8-5. Josh Young with the game-winning 3-run homer in the 10th off of Jake Bird, who was sent to Scranton. Jock Peterson, the game-tying solo homer in the 9th off of Devin Williams, who blew the save. That's 4 straight for the Yankees, who are now tied with Seattle for spots 2 and 3 in the wild card race. The Rangers a game and a half out for that wild card spot. Tonight, Will Warren faces Nathan Eovaldi on the Fan at 8:05. Aaron Judge will be back in the lineup at DH, and the Bucks are said to be signing Teddy Bridgewater. This report brought to you by United Airlines and by Ray Katina. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com. It's 80 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. We talked about the Mets a little bit. Another frustrating loss last night. They've been in a little bit of a rut here. You know, the thing you have to worry about from a Mets perspective is it feels like, and I even said this yesterday, nothing that happened prior to yesterday's game matters. They were just a half game back of the Phillies. Everything's right there. Let's go 50-something games to go, whatever it may be. Start it right last night. Obviously, they didn't. They fell short. There were some positives, you know, the bouncing back, coming back from down 5-0. Alonso's big 3-run homer. So there were some positives there. You know, the bullpen still should be a strength for the Mets here. Manaea, the fact that he, actually pitched into the sixth inning. I know he fell apart there, but still some signs as he's trying to build it back up. The problem is you got to be careful here with the Guardians, who have been playing much better brand of baseball. And the Phillies now starting to maybe play a little bit better themselves, could be taken off a little bit. The Mets got the Brewers looming this weekend, best team in baseball. Before you know it, I mean, if the Mets continue to hit the skids here and lose 4 of the next 5 or whatever it may be, all of a sudden you could find yourself 3.5, 4.5 back. That starts to build up kind of quickly here, and then you're chasing. Right now they're not really chasing. Half game, game and a half, you're still right there. But when you start getting to a point where you're 4.5 back, 5 back, whatever it may be, now you're talking about, as the season's starting to dwindle, you don't want to go further back in that division. And we all know, look, the Mets want to win the division. I mean, it's not just, let's see what happens getting into the postseason. They want to win a division. They have not won a division since 2015. It's not just about that. It's more about setting yourself up and having everything, loaded up. You're pitching the way that you want to and guys having proper rest. Mets want to win this division here against the Phillies. They got 7 games head-to-head against them, but they got to start playing some better baseball because, a week ago it was, the Mets are on fire. They swept the Giants. Everything was great. And then they got swept by the Padres, couple of tough games in there, losing 2 out of 3 to the Giants. Okay, couple tough games in there. And then last night, another tough game. It's not like they're getting smoked. This is not what happened in Pittsburgh bad. But the Mets got to start winning these games here. You want to win a division. You can't be dropping back further as the season starts to dwindle down. Both these baseball teams not playing at their best right now as we have entered August. 888-808-1019, the number to call. Mark is in Cherry Hill. What's up, Mark?
Hey, Sal, how are you? Thanks for taking my call. 45-year-old Met fan. I think David Stearns, has to take some hits over here. It's about time. I mean, very simple to me. Frankie Montes, he ran after him in the offseason as if the guy would have been the steal of free agency. The guy's been brutal. He had a shot in New York. We know some pitchers can't handle New York. We saw that with Sonny Gray. This guy's worse than Sonny Gray. His card says that. He's brutal. And he puts him in there. And if I get the whole idea of not wanting to spend on these big free agent pitchers, I sort of agree with him. But if you're going to go ahead and go with that route, then you got to take it all the way. And the way you take it all the way is go with the 6-man rotation, which is, by the way, what he wanted to do in the beginning of the year. And it's the perfect opportunity right now. You got 2 guys in the minor leagues who are absolute studs. What are we waiting for them to use up their pitch innings? So now you can't even pitch them anymore. And then these guys can't even throw. And then they get hurt, and then you never see what they are. All these guys end up getting hurt. Let's put these guys in the rotation. You get Montas out of there. You got Senga, who we don't know when he's going to get hurt. You got Manaea, who's got loose chips in his elbow. You got Holmes, who's running on fuel, who's never pitched so many innings. You got Peterson, who's never pitched so many innings, and he's been great. How much more you want from him? This is the perfect opportunity. 6-man rotation. Get both of these kids up there. They deserve it. They're great, and it's right in front of him. You can't have it both ways. You can't not invest on the great pitcher and then go ahead and not bring up the studs that are in your farm system and act like Brody Van Wagenen when you're going to keep your minders down there. Look what the Braves did when they had Strider. They bring these guys up right away. You worry about paying them later on. We got Stevie Cohn. But, let's be real. Juan Soto is Steve Cohn. That's not David Stearns. Stevie Cohn shelled out the money and just said, let's do it. He's got to ante up over here. Yeah. He's got to bring these kids up.
Excellent call, Mark. Excellent call, and thank you for that call. We appreciate it. And I think you're onto something. Now, we all said it because we watched Montas with the Yankees flail here in New York. We all said at the time, it was the one thing, I was sitting there, King Cohen this and David Stearns that, and praising those guys as I believe that they deserve the praise. But the Montas thing to me never made any sense. As a matter of fact, we said it. Hey, if you could fix Montas, I know the Mets don't like to talk of the lab and all that stuff. There is no pitching lab. They just use analytics and, whatever, their thought process is to having guys putting guys in a position to succeed, having them throw their best pitches, whatever it may be. But it's not like they just put them in a lab and poof, here we go, and they're studs. So we joke about that. We talk about that. If they could have turned Montas into something useful, then, I mean, anything's possible with this regime. I did not love the signing at the time. Most of us did not, and he's been brutal. Now, I don't know if you heard it yesterday, but David Stearns and Mendoza both said that Montas is going to pitch his next turn in the rotation on Saturday, but they may have an opener start in front of him. That, to me, is the first step in the process of moving on from Frankie Montas. I don't know if they're going to cut him. I don't know what the options are. Obviously, he's under contract next year, meaning he's got a player option. He could pick that player option up. So I'm not sure how that's going to work, if they're just going to move on from him or if he could go down. I don't even know if he's got option, whatever it may be. But they cannot justify having Frankie Montas continue to take the mound if he continues to perform the way that he has. And they won't. The way I read when they say, well, he'll pitch Saturday, but there may be an opener in front of him. To me, this is his last opportunity. If Montas does not get the job done and extend his shelf life here with the Mets, they then are going to dip into the minors and call one of those guys up. I do trust David Stearns. Look, he didn't go out there and acquire a pitcher at the trade deadline. It's one of the reasons why he gave the Mets an A, not an A+. Didn't go over the top. Fair enough. Maybe there wasn't that perfect fit that you're going to give up a lot for right now. And what good's a back end of the rotation guy going to do when you could have that with Tyler McGill potentially or Blackburn potentially, even though they're not that high on him at the moment? Or even more importantly, forget those guys. He made the decision to say that either Sproat or McClain would come up, maybe both, maybe one, but they would come up and fill a much-needed void in that Mets rotation. And I just get the feel, like you watch this team play, you get the gut feel, what's going on with the rotation, guys aren't giving him length. That's the biggest issue that they have. Mendy's talked about that. Their biggest issue in their minds, the starting pitcher's not giving them enough length in these games. Well, at some point, probably sooner than later, they're going to have to pull the trigger and go get McClain and or Sproat from the minors and bring them up here, and that can take this team to another level. I believe it's going to happen. Now, I don't know how good they're going to be when they get here, but the energy around them it's going to lift the Mets up, and a lot of times you need that. The Mets have done a good job all year long, overcoming a lot of things, weathering the storm, performing like a top ball club. You know, the injuries, whatever, the ruts that they've gone into, the inconsistencies of the offense, they've weathered the storm. They went to the trade deadline. They added reinforcements, a center fielder, bullpen help. Sometimes it's going to take that extra move, dip it into the minors for one or two of those studs that they need. I know that they had that in their mind. This is not now. This is months ago. It's not like Stearns is like, oh, crap, we didn't get a pitcher or guys are flailing here. We're going to have to dip into the minors. There's been a thought process, I guarantee you, before the season started. Okay, if this happens and this happens, can we rely on McClain and Sproat? Let's see what happens, how they develop throughout the course of the season in the minor leagues. And let's not call on them until we really need them potentially down the stretch to give us another, layer that we can elevate our game to. And I think it's going to happen. I don't know about a six-man rotation. I don't know if I want that, although I understand why you're saying it. Keep Holmes fresh. Senga obviously would benefit from that. Maybe it would work. But now you're asking two rookies to come up and do it down the stretch in a race for the division and a playoff spot. It's going to happen. To me, it's just a matter of when. And I would bet that Montas isn't going to be any good Saturday and that by next week, the latest, you're going to see one or two of these guys, McClain or Sproat, being called up. Larry calling from Cranford, New Jersey. What's up, Larry?
Hey, guys, like last night, how come every Yankee fan I was texting last night tried Bodner to close the game? He only threw a handful of pitches the inning before. And then why let Wells, who's batting 206, come up in a spot like that when I think Rice could have pinch hit and then finished catching? Sure enough, Wells hits into a weak double play, and there you go. And that's why Aaron Boone lost that game for us last night. We need such a new face and voice.
No, but think about this, Larry. You're trying to manage around players' weaknesses. Austin Wells has stunk. Okay? Now, am I going to be the first to say it again? I mean, because nobody wants to admit it. Also, just like I said, Volpe has been a bust months ago, and then he got even worse from that. Austin Wells has stunk. We expected him to be an all-star, both BT and I thought he was going to be great. Talking about his home runs and his power, he's got 15 home runs. And that's not good enough to overcome a 209 batting average. Not to mention the boneheaded things that he's done on the base paths. Austin Wells has been god-awful. But is that Aaron Boone's fault? And you want to, overcome Devin Williams, say, well, you have Bednar go 2 innings. No, you're not burning Bednar for 2 innings. Bednar's you're supposed to be a terrific, 1 inning reliever. I'm not saying you can't ever have him pitch more than just the 1 inning, but not at this point. The Yankees shouldn't have to do that when they have Williams set up in that bullpen. They have him set up as a closer. You want to tell me you want to flip them? Fine, flip them. And say you use Williams in the 8th or 7th inning. But who's to say that he wouldn't have given up a run there? You can't blame Boone for Devin Williams stinking. You can blame Boone for saying that why are you having Williams close these games, but more than likely, Williams would have been in that game last night, regardless of what inning. And more than likely, he probably would have given it up. Seth is calling from Manhattan. What's up, Seth?
Hey, thanks for taking the call.
How are you, Seth?
I want to talk about 2 incidents from last night's Mets game. First of all, I don't think it was a crazy decision to not send Taylor around third. At the end of the day, you got to trust Pete Alonso to hit a fly ball. He should hit a fly ball there. You got to trust him to do that. And
Why? When you had them on the ropes? I'm not saying it was a crazy decision. I'm saying I wouldn't have done it, and I think it was the wrong decision. Mendy agrees with you.
Alonso,
yeah, go ahead.
Right. He was 4 for 4 on the night. He's your all-star first baseman.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only time it's justifiable to make an out-of-home plate is the last out. I don't think you can make an out-of-home plate as a second out.
It wouldn't have been the last out.
Right. I'm saying it's the only time it would be justifiable is the last out, I think.
Yeah, but to me, that's not in real time. See, you're thinking like analytics, and you're thinking, okay, percentages. I'm thinking baseball. The ball's hitting the corner. The Guardians are up against it. You put the pressure on them. Step on their throat. Make them make a play. If they make a great play and you get thrown out, so be it. And what's the worst case scenario, Seth? Francisco Lindor would have been at second base for Juan Soto and Pete Alonso at the very least.
I definitely hear that. And then the second, I think in the 10th inning, walking Jose Ramirez was awful. It was an awful move. Mendoza has to know that David Fry, a 180 hitter, he's going to come up there and bunt. And forget that Beatty made the bad play. We're assuming David Fry puts on a good bunt. What's happening? It's 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. It doesn't make sense to walk Jose Ramirez. He's going to get a hit, 30% of the time?
Yeah, I'm not.
30% of the time he gets a hit.
Well, wait a second.
70% of the time you won't.
So wait a second. You want to pitch to Jose Ramirez, but yet your thought process, you want Pete Alonso to come up and rely on him hitting a sac fly? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, Jose Ramirez is not going to get a hit 100% of the time. He gets a hit 30%.
And Pete Alonso's not going to drive in the run 100% of the time. And he just hit he was 4 for 4 last night.
Well, you assume between Alonso and McNeil, who was McNeil after Alonso, you assume one of them can drive in that run.
You know what happens when you assume?
Chance.
You know what happens when you assume?
It's a 50-50.
Oh, no, Seth, see, you're playing the percentages. Jose Ramirez is a great player. I'm not pitching to him. You're letting him beat you in that spot? I'll take my chance with Fry.
But okay, right. But you know Fry is bunting over there. It's setting up 2nd and 3rd with 1 out.
And make a play. My biggest issue is not walking Ramirez. My issue is having a third baseman out there. And thank you for the call, Seth. Good back and forth. Having a third baseman out there is not good defensively late in the game. Why? Beatty's bat is not good enough to excuse his defense late in the game. It's not. They could think it's serviceable. They could think they could get by with it. They can't. You saw that last night. I mean, that's a routine play for a third baseman in the big leagues. You can't throw the ball to second base? Come on, what is this? I'm not asking him to make a great play. I'm asking him to pick up the bunt and throw the ball to second. Or if you don't think you could do that, throw it to first and get the out. Don't throw it in right field. He's a big league third baseman, or he wants to be, or they expect him to be by putting him in there. Make the play. Can't do that. But Beatty's not a great defensive third baseman. He's shown flashes earlier in the year. That was the thing that impressed me most. I was like, wow, Beatty looks legit over here at third. He's not. He's too inconsistent. He's no different than Vientos at third base. They're not good, solid defenders at third. Mauricio is. I'd rather live with the floor of Mauricio's defense at third base. Not to mention his offensive potential. I'm not taking him out of the game. Or if you are, you better have somebody that can replace him that can field. If Winker ever comes back, Beatty's not going to be here, but that still doesn't help getting Acuna on the roster, who to me would have helped that. You could have Acuna at second base, and you could have moved over McNeil to third, or have Acuna play third, whatever it may be. But I'd rather that than Beatty at third. I don't know how they're going to work it here, but clearly they're prioritizing offense. And they got beat by that last night. I don't think they got beat because he decided to walk Ramirez, the one guy in the Guardians lineup you don't want to be. There's 2 hitters that they have. Quan and Ramirez. That's it. Those are the only 2 guys that scare you. You saw that in the postseason last year against the Yankees. After those 2 guys in the order, it's like, nobody else is going to do anything here. They can't hit. Mets didn't get beat because the Guardians could hit. They got beat because the Mets didn't field. And back to the other play before. Yeah, you're right. Percentage-wise, cautious-wise, safety-wise, the smart play is to say, don't screw it up for Soto or Alonso. Maybe that would have been the case if they were down in the game. But being that it was a tie game, being that you're at home, being that at worst case, you have Soto coming up. If they pitch to him, great. If not, it's going to be Alonso and McNeil, the same thing that it was anyway, with a runner in scoring position. You have 2 chances to get a base hit. I'd rather run the risk of being aggressive in a play that's chaotic down the right field line with Taylor coming on strong, rounding third. Send him home, make them make the play. I'd rather that than play it safe and say, well, we don't have to get a base hit to win. All it's going to take is a sac fly. I think you got to be aggressive in that spot. They played it safe. They lost. It's not just about the result. Either way. To me, the right play, real time, I'm saying send him. You could feel it. The right play was to send him. Game was going to end on that play. They chose not to. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. If you live in New Jersey, your electricity rates are going up yet again. If your current cooling system's over 15 years old, got to get ahead of that rate increase now with a new high-efficiency Carrier AC system. There's only one company to call. It's my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's air conditioning experts, and they have been for decades. Take it from me, you'll save money and stay cooler. These guys are true experts. They've done plenty of work on my house. I trust them more than anybody. Contact them, my friends, right now, EdisonHVAC.com. That's EdisonHVAC.com.
The Yankees take on Texas, 8:05 tonight.
Giddy up, baby! Giddy up! God, it's a home run!
Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play on The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
Cloudy with breaks of sun, high 87.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hot damn! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. The hard iced tea taste you know and love, but with an 8% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real fruit tea, goes down smooth, and brings your daytime drinking to the next level. Just look for the bright yellow cans in the cooler and get ready to dial up the fun. Big flavor, extreme kick. Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted!
Visit dealer company
Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the new 2026 Kia Sportage X-Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Tune in for the Yankees' first pitch presented by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees.
It's a tight one here in New York. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs.
Ma, the bathroom is flooding again. The toilet's throwing a no-hitter.
Looks like your home's plumbing just threw a wild pitch.
Don't let your house turn into the Hudson with DIY fixes. Call in the pros at Roto-Rooter. From leaky faucets to full-blown disasters, your MVP for plumbing solutions.
Roto-Rooter closes it out and sits down the side.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
At Hanover Bank, we're more than just your bank. We're your neighbor. Our decisions are made locally by people who live and work right here in your community and who understand what matters most to you. And your deposits, they stay local, benefiting the businesses, homes, families, and futures that make our towns thrive. We believe in true relationship banking, individual service, and commitment to community. Visit HanoverBank.com to learn more today. That's HanoverBank.com. Hanover Bank. Forward together.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. I had a tomahawk steak last night that was absolutely cooked to perfection. Now, you already know how it was done with the Chef IQ Sense, the wireless thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat, whether you're cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill. It is built to withstand extreme heat, and the app alerts you when to take the steaks off the grill and even when to flip them. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense right now at chefiq.com and make sure to put the code word Boomer in for 15% off.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan, 888-808-1019. The number to call on this Tuesday morning, venting about both our baseball teams. Soon enough, we'll be venting about both our football teams. We got a little Hard Knocks tonight. Hop, I know you got Boldface Truth, Boldface Lie coming up in about 13 minutes or so I'll save some of those topics. I don't know what you're going to get to, but whatever you don't, we could do a little bit later on as well. But I'm starting to transition. I was actually talking about this with JJ yesterday at SNY. We were just having a conversation off the air, and he's like, you ready for football yet? Are you excited? And the answer is yes, I am. I'm starting to transition. However, it's a tough balance because I still want to enjoy the summer. I'm looking at the calendar. Jared and I were just talking about it, like trying to play golf or whatever. And by the way, like I can't stand the golf stuff. I'm just at a point. It hit me last night as I'm watching the Yankees and Ryan Ruocco was in for K, and him and Cone were innocently just mentioning, oh, we're going to be playing golf tomorrow. And Coney joked, well, who's got it better than us? Like, yeah, I get it. Great life. You're on the road. You're playing golf. Like, that's cool. And I know Boomer and Gio talk about golf all the time, and Jerry. Like, it gives me anxiety. I don't like hearing about other people enjoying. I don't know what it is. Call me a wet blanket, if you will, whatever.
enough with the golf stuff. Like, if you don't play golf and you don't play it well, you don't play it often and enjoy these clubs. Now, I get it. I've been to some of these country clubs. It's like a whole different world. As somebody who was blue collar and comes from the family that I did, like walking into one of those places, as we do at the Safe at Home Foundation with Joe Torre at Sleepy Hollow, it's like, wow, you guys sure I'm allowed here? Or the places that I played with Francesa inviting me over the years, or whoever it may be. A couple of the opportunities I've been fortunate enough to experience. It's a whole different world. It's nice. The food's great. They treat you great. I get it. It's like the happiest place on earth. You're away from the family. But it's just not for me. And I'm thinking about it, and I have a scheduled day. I'm actually supposed to play with Jerry and Gio in a couple of weeks. And I'm like, oh, man. Like, I took a day off to do this. I'd rather be by the pool, or dare I say even spending time with my daughter and wife. I mean, I don't know if I need to get away and go play golf, which I'm not good at. And maybe that's part of it, my anxiety. And I know that people could say, well, nobody's any good. Yeah, I get it. But people think they're good, and that bothers me. You think you're good, but you're really not. You're not a pro. The pros are the pros. I don't even watch the pros. But I'll go there and I'll hit a couple, off the top of the club or the side of the club, or skull a couple. And it's not fun for me. It's embarrassing. I know nobody really cares. And I'd rather just go along for the ride, drink a couple of surf sides. Yeah, I'll watch you guys play. Sure, we'll just hang out, shoot the you-know-what, and have some fun. Playing gives me anxiety to a point where I don't even like hearing other people talk about it anymore, and how much they enjoy it and how great it is. I wish I were better at it so I would feel more comfortable doing it. Terry Collins has invited me many times. Like, come on, you got to come down, Sal. Got the clubs for you. I'm like, I know, TC, but I like to go down and hang with them. I have a couple of drinks. I don't want to embarrass myself on the golf course. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't got time for lessons. I don't want to play every weekend. But this stuff gives me anxiety. And it seems like it's talked about more than ever. Everybody's talking about it. I am waiting for that invite with Mike, though, because I'll tell you, that food that I had when we went out there last year was the best meal I've ever had in my life. The best. I don't even remember what it was. Some kind of panini or something simple. It was delicious. I was like, can I get one of these to go, Mike? Tell the waiter, excuse me, sir, can you just put one of these on his tab to go? Thank you.
Do you think that they serve the same stuff at the Giants and Giants annual meeting?
Dude, Dan in Warwick. Good God. Did you hear him? That bothered me yesterday. I'm thinking I want to have some fun with this. We were lucky to get him on. People were trying to track him down. You get him on, and you have to take some of the hit here. Will you? I'm not going to bury you, but will you at least take some accountability?
I don't want to be buried.
I got to hold you accountable
I didn't do a lot of legwork on it. I won't lie. He called in. I accepted the call.
Yeah, he called in, and you said, hold on,
let's go through.
Let's go. Yeah.
Through.
Not even here's Sal, because he called me Evan twice. I don't think he knows who I am, which is fine, but you assume that Dan in Warwick was in tune as to what was going on, and you know what happens when you assume.
Right, 100%, and I'll take the hit for that.
Lesson learned.
But again, like we said,
don't do it again. I'm not Booney. We both got accountable here. No, go ahead.
I thought that Dan was very in tune with this world.
Dude, he had no clue. And then, did you hear him call back Maresh? I was getting texts from Maresh when I was on the set of Baseball Night in New York, so I didn't hear it live, but I went back and listened to it. He said Dan called in their show. And I was like, oh, how'd it go? And now I start thinking, I'll be honest with you, I start thinking, oh, crap. Maybe he was better with them. Maybe he just didn't know me. Maybe I was the one who sucked in that spot. And he goes, believe it or not, he was even worse. I was like, well, no way. And I went back and listened to it, and it was worse. It was like Dan was angry. He's talking about, am I getting paid from it? It was his big moment to shine, and he couldn't give a crap less about it. I respected on one end of it, but I was disappointed on the other end of it.
Like I told you all fair, he said to me, this is really bad time for me.
A bad time for you? What are you talking about?
And then he texted me later on like that, like at 5:30. He's like, hey, by the way, if you want, I can come in and co-host. I don't think he knew what was going on.
Come in and co-host. No thanks. I think we'll pass. Good God. And then Maresh is saying that Dan told him that he was like class clown 8 times. I was like, dude, more like Crazy Joe Davola than class clown. I mean, that's the Pagliacci clown that I see there with Crazy Joe Davola with Dan and Warwick. I'm not trying to pick a fight with him or anything like that or belittle him, but he just wanted no interest whatsoever and did not seem to have any kind of fun with it whatsoever. He literally talked about, well, am I getting paid for it? Maresh was like, dude, you had the greatest prank call ever. And he wouldn't acknowledge it.
I feel like, if anything, he would be like the class murderer of jokes.
Right? He killed the whole thing. He had the great call. He admitted again. He said that it was a prank. He must have not liked Mike or whatever, so he had that stupid prank back then or whatever. And he just didn't want to have any fun with it. Did you hear that, Dove, when he called Marash and Loogie?
No, I saw it on social media. It happened. I wanted to listen to it. I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah, I know somebody posted our audio of when he called this show.
Yeah.
And the other one was even worse. Who was it, Big Bill or something like that?
Big Action Bill.
Big Action Bill.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that was rough. I mean, trying to get something out of him. He talks about the bleach and the computer. I have no idea what the hell's going on.
I think what you have to do is you just have to set him and Mike Francesa up and see what they do together.
I wouldn't even do that. Mike would need extra security. Where's Julio? I mean, come on. I'd be worried about that. I don't want to mess with Dan and Warwick. Let him do his thing in Warwick, in Vermont.
I was able to pass his information on to some people because someone wanted to get his info. And I just said,
good luck.
I basically. And they said,
proceed with caution.
And they said, well, it's not for me. It's for somebody else. So I don't have to deal with it. I'm like, well, good for you. Ignore it.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Dom is calling from Edgewater, New Jersey. What's up, Dom?
Sal, thanks for the call. You know, since May 28th, I'm going to go back to the Yankees because they have just been an absolute hell, and the fans don't deserve this. Whether it's 3 for 15 last night for runners in scoring position, whether it's Friday's game against the Marlins where they blew the lead 3 times, the bullpen going right and left, just not saving games, not closing out games like they should. Max Fried with a 5.81 ERA since July 1st, who can't even beat Toronto and can't even go 5 innings against Texas, barely survived 5 innings, rather the fact. This has been an absolute disgrace. This has been an absolute joke. This team, it's hard to believe that this team could just die like they've done these last 2 months. And I don't know what's up with Aaron Boone not saying anything, not calling a team meeting, but you know what? Stop coddling your players, speak to them like grown men, and say something, do something, light a fire under this team. I am sick and tired of watching this team blow games right and left. It's unfair to the fans. Stop wasting our time and fix this before you and your beloved GM, Brian Cashman, are on the unemployment line.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Good call, Don. We appreciate the passion. Here's the thing. Why would you think that if the Yankees continue to struggle here and, let's say, miss the postseason, that significant changes are going to be made? The Yankees missed the postseason in 2023. 2 years ago, they missed the postseason, and no changes were made. Then they get to the World Series last year. You would think that if an ownership group, the hierarchy at the Yankees, if they were not willing to make changes after missing the postseason in 2023 and having a bad year in 2021 and getting swept away by the Astros in 2022, you would think that if they didn't make a change then, that after getting to the World Series, they're certainly not going to make a change now, regardless of what happens the rest of the way. So I don't think that, and now I don't know anything, but I don't think it's likely that even if they miss the playoffs, that change is going to be made. I also don't think it's likely that they're going to miss the playoffs. I know right now it's a struggle and it feels that way. I guarantee you Boone is talking to the players and he's doing it. If he's not doing it publicly, which he doesn't do it enough, then he's doing it behind closed doors. As a matter of fact, I saw something yesterday. I think it was Foul Territory podcast. I don't know. I can't keep up with all these things anymore. But Lance Lynn, former Yankee, was saying, like, guarantee you Boone is getting on these guys behind the scenes, behind closed doors, but nobody's going to say anything because if it gets out in New York, then it's even worse. And that is such a load of crap. I would believe that Boone is more, I don't want to say critical, harsh, holding guys more accountable behind closed doors. I believe that. What I don't believe is the fact that if you do that, we're going to, if it gets out, it's going to be worse because of the New York media and the fans. That is such bullcrap. We don't care. I don't care what's said, when it's said, to us, not to us. What I care about is getting it fixed. That's what we care about, the results. If he is, or if he did talk to Gleyber Torres multiple times and we didn't know about it, then how come the result wasn't any different? If he did talk to Jazz Chisholm and hold him accountable, how come Jazz goes out there and says, I do this again? How come it continues to happen? The one thing Boone says definitively can't happen again. Won't happen again. Was it the Post? I think the Post had something on their Instagram yesterday that was just perfectly done. It was like 5 examples of bad plays that Boone, after the play, said can't happen. Can't happen. Can't happen. It was 5 different plays with 5 different players. And my thinking is, okay, well, if they say it can't happen and it won't happen again with each individual, let's just get it out of the way and go around the horn and have all 9 guys on the field screw up badly so then it doesn't happen again. Because if it's not Volpe, it's Dominguez. If it's not Dominguez, it's Wells. If it's not Wells, it's Chisholm. If it's not Chisholm, it's the first base coach. Not first base coach, third base coach. Not them, it's Stanton. Like it's one after another. And it continues to happen. So we don't care who it's said to, when it's said, behind closed doors, to the media. What we care about is the result. I'm not mad because Boone doesn't hold his players accountable in public. I'm mad because the results tell me that there isn't accountability up and down that Yankees organization. That, to me, is the big problem. All right, we'll get back to some of your calls, 888-808-1019. Also, have a little bold-faced truth, bold-faced lie when we come back. Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. I love them. They're comfortable. They fit well. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. The blazer is sharp and wrinkle-resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag, and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with the security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
I don't care if the Mets are playing an American League team that is in even remote contention of the wild card. Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. And if you can't do the same as a Met fan cheering on, if you can't say let's go Yankees, you're crazy.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Texas is #1 in the preseason poll for the first time ever. Arch Manning's the guy. The roster's stacked. And just like 2005, the last time Texas won it all, an early showdown with Ohio State looms. Back then, it was Vince Young. Big game, big season, national title. Now, same matchup, same hype, another star quarterback with everything in front of him. History's knocking. Texas just has to answer. I'm Maggie Gray.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check for your wallet first before hitting the drive-thru.
$6.
Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Connecticut's best values at Town Fair Tire. They honor all manufacturer and valid competitor rebates, offer the most free services for life, plus give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
D'Agostino, law, bite back.
I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Sal Licata here, and wow, are we thrilled with the incredible job CertaPro Painters did on our house. So clean, so efficient, they actually listened to us and even satisfied my wife, which, as you know, isn't easy. If you've been putting off painting because of the economy or tariff worries, don't. Painting your house is the easiest and most efficient way to protect and raise your home's value. Do what we did. Call CertaPro Painters today.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan. Presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Now at Verizon, lock in our low price, plus free roaming included in Puerto Rico. Discover the best mofongo. Post that perfect sunset on La Isla. And save big with Verizon while you do it. Switch and get 4 lines for just $30 per line. See? Just $30 per month with unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Plus calls, texts, and data in Puerto Rico included. So you can use your phone sin problema. Stop by your New York Verizon store today. For unlimited welcome in times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Are you ready to make this summer electric? Get behind the wheel of a Ford Mustang Mach-E. This is no ordinary EV, folks. This is the only EV good enough to be called a Mustang. Bred with the same performance as its legendary namesake, the Mach-E delivers high-voltage thrills with every acceleration. And with its sleek design and innovation at every turn, you'll be well connected to the road and all of your senses. Experience the Mach-E for yourself. Visit your local Ford store today and check it out.
Now, time for Bold Face Lie, Bold Face Truth with Brenton Tierney and Sal Licata.
All right, little bold-faced lie, bold-faced truth. Hoppy, what do you have for us today?
All right, so I have yet to see the movie, but I'm going to see it very soon. Naked Gun. It looks fantastic. Liam Neeson.
What's the actual title of it?
The Naked Gun.
That's it. Okay. There's no like 33 1/3 or
no.
Okay.
2.5.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
nothing like that. Not yet. Okay. Not yet. But this leads me into the question or the statement. Bald-faced lie, bald-faced truth. Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson will get married before the sequel to The Naked Gun comes out.
I'm going to say, I mean, they do seem to be in love.
They seem to be very much in love. And you know Liam Neeson's situation, right?
Yes, his wife passed away, unfortunately. Was that the ski accident?
Yeah.
I know.
That was like almost 20 years ago.
What was his wife's name? She was an actress. She was in, what the hell was she in that I liked?
She was a great actress.
Was she the mother in The Parent Trap? I think that she was, if I'm not mistaken. Remember
Natasha Richardson.
Okay, remember The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan?
Yes.
I believe Natasha Richardson was the mother in The Parent Trap.
Yes, you're right. Okay. 1998. You're correct.
That's where I remember her from. But she passed away in that ski accident, and he was, obviously devastated. I don't know if he's dated or whatever since then, but this is the most.
No, he hasn't. This is like a thing. Like he hasn't had a relationship since he passed away.
And Pam is like a new version of Pam Anderson. She's
a new version?
Version.
Oh, okay.
Version of herself. where I think she wears less makeup, if any.
Yes.
And she's not, dating Tommy Lee. You remember that?
I remember. Oh,
Yeah.
Who doesn't remember that?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, all right, you remember that?
That was my first experience in adult.
No, I get it. I think that there's true love there. I really do. So I'm going to say that is a bald-faced truth. They get married before the sequel of The Naked Gun. Remember, I don't even know if there's going to be a sequel. I think they're going to get married.
I think there should be a sequel, even though I haven't watched it yet. But
I heard it's great, and the preview for it was good. I'm going to see it. If not this weekend, I'm going to go see it next week. I have some time coming off, a couple of days. I think next week I'm going to go see it one of those days.
Yeah, my family's going to go away in a week, so I'm looking forward to doing nothing but hanging with myself. So I'll watch that then.
Do you know how long the movie is?
What's the runtime?
Because even Happy Gilmore, which I enjoyed, it's like 2 hours. No, dude, come on. 140. A comedy should not be longer than 140. Really, it should be 120.
It's about the experience now. They need to give you a whole full experience.
I don't need 2 hours.
Well, how about this? An hour 25. They're not even give you a full movie.
Naked Gun?
Yeah.
Bingo, there you go.
That's a Netflix special.
An hour and 40 goes on too long. 120, you could be good. That's a good comedy right there.
I
wish Happy Gilmore was 120. Less cameos and shorter time.
Dude, how do we not know this? You know who's in the film?
Who?
Cody Rhodes.
What?
How did you not know that?
How did you not know that?
I didn't do any research.
When Stern has a big guest on, Baba Booey comes up with or Hine, they hit him with the Hine, they come up with those questions. I had no idea Cody Rhodes was in The Naked Gun.
Yeah, he's the third person on this list of cast, and Busta Rhymes too. But yeah.
Can we get Busta on to talk about it?
I'll work on that. That's the next guest.
I wish I would have known that with Cody. We had him in here for a while. We could have got to The Naked Gun. Anyway,
all right.
What do you got? Next one.
All right, bald-faced truth, bald-faced lie. Serious question.
Mm-hmm.
BT will watch 15% of the Jets' preseason games. Bald-faced truth, bald-faced lie. 15%.
Well, he's going to be on vacation for this first one. I think he's going to go back and watch them. I will say that as a bald-faced truth, he is going to watch more than 15% of the preseason games.
No.
You think that's a lie, huh?
Yeah, I think there's no trend.
No.
I think he sees the opening drives for each game.
Something you can watch the highlights. Oh, yeah, right. I see what you're saying. Watch
opening
just
drive, and then that's it. That's
Well, I mean, it's a good question. I used to be more into it, but that was when preseason mattered more. Now it's like preseason really is irrelevant. It used to be, okay, maybe the first week a little bit, definitely the second week a little bit, and then a lot of the third week, and then none of the fourth week. Now it's like there are only 3 weeks, right, of preseason.
Right, it's just 3 weeks, and there's one game where they don't start any starters.
Anybody, right? So I'm sorry, like as much as I'll be into it, and I am actually excited. I put it on my to-do list. Ooh, here we go, Saturday, Giants-Jets, preseason games, baby. You're going to be traveling with the Giants in Buffalo?
I'll be in Buffalo, yeah.
Which will be interesting, by the way, because the Bills are on Hard Knocks, which starts tonight. But either way, the Giants will be featured on that, I'm sure, as the opponent against the Bills. I just, as much as I want to get into it and I watch it, by the time anybody that's relevant is out of the game, I lose interest.
No, and actually, to be honest with you, Saturday, it's a 1 o'clock game.
Giants is Saturday
at 1. Like, who's watching that?
In the summer?
Yeah.
No, I'm out. Well, I'll DVR it, and then if I feel like it, I'll go back and watch.
Yeah, you're not taking in 90% of that game. You're barely taking in 50%.
No, if that. It will be. And remember, too, there's baseball going on. Like, my ideal Saturday in the summer is maybe a little barbecue, definitely by the pool, and then listen to the ball games.
There you go.
That would be my, not preseason football week 1.
Honestly, I had a party over the weekend, and that's actually what we did. We had a house party, and we had both TVs on. So we had the Mets and Yankee game on, but we were listening to Susan and Dave Sims on the radio as well, and that was just awesome. It was
I actually listen to games quite a bit because I'm either in the car, especially running errands or whatever, or like I said, in the backyard. I'll listen to a lot more games during the summer than
it's awesome. It's great. Now, listen, last one: bald-faced lie, bald-faced truth. It's a difficult question. I don't know how you're gonna go with this, or a statement.
Yeah.
Aaron Boone will outlast Brian Dable as head coach for their respective teams. Bald-faced lie, bald-faced truth.
That may be one of the best you've had. I'm going to say that it's a bald-faced lie. Now, I'm not saying that I think the expiration date is coming at the end of the year for Boone. Even if they miss the playoffs, I still need to see it to believe it. And for the record, if the Yankees pull the stunt of missing the postseason and firing Boone and making him the scapegoat, it's wrong. It's incorrect. If they clean house, can't argue. If it's just Boone as the scapegoat, that is absurd. I'm not sure that that's going to be the case, but let's just say that they make the playoffs, Boone's safe. I believe that the Giants made their decision to commit to Dable last year. We've talked about that a lot. When you draft Jackson Dart and you put the pieces in place this year, and I was thinking, I've been giving this a lot of thought as I start to get ready in football mode. I don't care about the schedule with the Giants. I believe in Dable. I've had this argument with BT last year. Same thing. Throughout the course of the year, he's like, well, what do you believe on? And each week it gets harder and harder to back Dable and the Giants because they were giving us nothing. But at my core, I believe Brian Dable is a good football coach. He's got to show it. The results have to be there. But I think the Maras, the ownership with the Giants as well, they're going to be patient at least for another 2 years with Dable. I think even if they don't have great success this year, 5-6 win season, whatever it may be, I still believe Dable will be here beyond this year. And I do think that he'll turn it around eventually. Whereas with Boone, I don't think he's getting past the 10-season mark. And this is already 8 seasons. Unless he wins a championship, I have a hard time thinking he's going to be here beyond that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they're both here for the next 10 years. But no, I think it's a bold-faced lie. I think Dable will outlast Boone at this point.
And do you follow up to that? Do you think that Boone goes with Cashman, or it's two different things?
I think they're probably going to separate it. What would be nice if they did it? Now, again, nice, you want to see wins, right? I'm not trying to be... I love Boone. I told you. I want Boone to be the manager forever. Love Aaron Boone. And I don't think this is his fault. There are two separate things here. This is not Boone's fault, and personally, I'd love to see him be the manager forever. However, when your team plays as poorly as they have played, there's got to be some level of accountability. I would have fired both Cashman and Boone, just saying, hey, time for a change. Time for a change with Cashman, Boone collateral damage in 2021. So I understand if the organization were to do that. I don't understand the split. I understand moving on from both if they fail and don't make the postseason. But I think Cashman is going to probably be allowed to go out on his own. And that doesn't seem like it's going to be too far down the road. He may just one day say, you know what, I don't want to be the GM anymore. I don't know what role he's going to take. And then at that point, it's going to be easier for them to maybe move on from Boone. Could be 2 years, could be 3. I have no idea.
Do you think he lays the axe on Boone and then says, hey, by the way, I'm out. See you.
No.
Have a good night, everybody.
I do not believe Brian Cashman thinks that Aaron Boone has done anything wrong, and he's right. He hasn't. I mean, nobody's perfect, but this is by design. You know, the Yankees issue, this is not a managerial issue. Has he been great? Has everybody loved the way that he's handled everything? No. But this is a culture issue. It is a roster construction issue. This is not get rid of the manager and a new manager, players, manager, hard ass, whatever, is going to be the savior. That is not. If you think that's the case with this Yankee team, you're not paying attention. They are not firing a manager away from being good. These are inherent problems. Is it Boone's fault that these guys aren't ready to play when they get to the big leagues? That's an organizational thing. How many high-end prospects have to fail before we realize, hey, maybe the Yankees organization doesn't know what they're doing and they're not doing it the right way? That's on the manager? No. BT and Sal on the Fan will reset down with the king topic of the day. It is the Yankees and the Mets. Both teams struggling. 888-808-1019. And, of course, your calls when we come back.
New York sports is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. WFAN is the only place where Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets fans come together and sound off.
I like Soto. I mean, I like his attitude.
The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the new 2026 Kia Sportage X-Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025. Eat up, buddy.
It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. It's not a seltzer, it's a Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today.
If you have back-to-school shopping to do, then you should make Macy's your first stop, because Macy's has back-to-school styles from brands like Nike and Jordan, must-have denim from Levi's and Good American, and now Macy's has Abercrombie Kids too. It's all in one place, all at great prices. And here's another reason to come in. If you're already at Macy's and you saved so much, you could stop by the fragrance counter and pick up something for yourself too. The best back-to-school styles are here now at Macy's.
Get ready for a breakthrough in tennis at the U.S. Open. The reimagined Mixed Doubles Championship brings tennis superstars together in an exciting new event. See the top players team up together like never before. Carlos Alcaraz with Emma Raducanu, Frances Tiafoe with Madison Keys, and many more. They're all battling for the official Grand Slam Mixed Doubles title August 19th and 20th. Get your tickets now at usopen.org.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. And by Ray Katina. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com. The Yankees have not won since trade deadline day, and now one of Brian Cashman's additions is heading to AAA. Jake Bird demoted this morning after serving up Josh Young's game-ending 3-run shot last night. Bird charged with 7 runs, 6 earned, recording just 6 outs over 3 appearances with the Yanks. The good news for the Bombers is, of course, Aaron Judge back tonight. Game 2 at the Rangers, 8:05 here on the Fan. The Mets haven't been much better since the deadline. Game 2 at the Guardians, 7:10 on Odyssey Mets Radio. And no Tyrod Taylor at Jets practice this morning. He's being evaluated for a knee injury that Aaron Glenn does not think is serious. Rookie tight end Mason Taylor out at least a week with a high ankle sprain. Fan weather sponsored by Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. WFAN congratulates Cars for Kids on 30 years of changing lives. Over 1 million cars donated, more than 100,000 kids helped. Be part of the legacy. Donate your car today at carsforkids.org and join over 1 million satisfied donors. It's 79 degrees, partly sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports Flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogue.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn.
Sal Licata back on the Fan,
JT on vacation all week, so it's just me and you to talk about our baseball teams, which is what we did to start the show. Unfortunately, a lot of the same for the Yankees, not prioritizing winning games and holding players accountable based on their performance, but more so prioritizing the feelings or the ego of Devin Williams in this particular case, making him the closer. Now, the Yankees didn't lose because of Williams. They lost because of the inability to tack on, and that's a problem up and down that order. We know what the Yankees can do at their best. They can mash. They're a bully offense, but they needed to tack on more last night, especially when their ace, Max Fried, didn't have it. That was another issue. Fried fortunate to get through 5 innings with the lead. Booney turned it over to the bullpen, and it's hard to expect 4 guys, 4 different individuals to go out there and be perfect. And it was a much better outing for Bednar, for Duvall. Obviously, Weaver got the job done, but we all knew what was going to happen. Once the Yankees made these additions to their bullpen, we all assumed the same thing. Well, Bednar is going to be the closer now, no? Or Duvall maybe, I don't know. But it's not going to be Devin Williams. And, we assume wrong because Aaron Boone said, nope, it's going to be Devin Williams. Why? Is it based on performance? Because if we're based on performance, Williams would not be the closer. Last year, yeah. This year, no. He has not earned the right to keep the closer's job. Now, are you just going to go right with the new guy right out of the gate? Maybe not, but still, the way that game was set up last night, we all knew it was going to happen. And it's just another problem for the Yankees. It continues to happen. Here's another issue. So, for me, like the accountability thing that we talked about yesterday and been talking about for years, that's still there. The other thing, the roster construction. Well, guess what? Aaron Judge on his way back, expected to be in there tonight as a DH. Well, then what does that mean for Giancarlo Stanton, who is on fire right now? Stanton on one of his heaters, which is par for the course with him. Hurt, misses half the season, can't field, can't throw, can't run. But when he does come back, he's going to go on a heater for 2-3 weeks. And then he'll go back in the cooler and all that stuff. That's what Giancarlo Stanton does. That's the MO. But now that he's on a heater, he might have to take a seat on the bench because Judge is going to be in there at DH. Boone did say with the Talking Yanks guys, as he's on their podcast as a weekly guest, John Boy and Jake, he did say that Judge is expected to play catch, I think, today, and they'll see about where he's going to be in the lineup tomorrow, meaning he's going to DH tonight. If he plays catch and maybe all goes well, maybe he could be in the field. I'm just paraphrasing there or putting, using a little common sense here. We don't know. That would be great. What we do know is they were saying on the broadcast last night that the Yankees don't want to use Stanton in the outfield, especially in Texas. Maybe that could be something when they return home over the weekend to take on the Astros. You got Old Timers Day coming up Saturday, so it should be fun out there, a celebratory day. Hopefully the Yankees pick it up with their play here. But either way, Stanton in the outfield, if he does go there, it's great to have his bat in the lineup. He's a liability. Roster construction. Yanks have some issues, roster construction, accountability. That's, to me, larger than, well, they just lost again to Texas. Well, they've lost 4 in a row, whatever it is. Getting swept by the Marlins, losing to the Rangers. I still believe that the Yankees' offense, which is still on par with some of the best in the league, because when they're on, they're as dominant as anybody. They're a bully offense. They can mash you to death. That's how we see the out-of-control scores, 10-1, 10-5, 12-4, whatever it may be. That's when the Yankees are rolling. When they're not, it's, we can't scratch or run across. Good pitchers get us beat. Not every time, but the majority of the time. Can't move a runner over. All of a sudden, Volpe and that bat have cooled off. And by the way, he made a horrible throw again last night in a key spot, but it was dug out by Goldschmidt. So for those of you who were calling saying, well, Goldschmidt's got to save him, well, make sure you keep a tally on Goldschmidt did save him last night. It's not every play that we are watching Volpe every play, but he's made enough. But he's still not out of the woods as far as the Volpe stuff goes. And the offense, where's that been? Where he comes up at a couple of big spots last night, not getting the job done. So it's a lot of issues with the Yankees. For me, at the core, even though I think they're still going to be a threat to win the division, even though once they get in the postseason with those bats, they could still be a threat. The pitching nowhere near where it needs to be. The bullpen, obviously, a part of that, even with the new additions. Jake Bird, one of those big additions, had to send him down. They sent him down today. Hey, here's the good news. He's under control. Let's not forget, Yankees didn't give up anything, and he's under control. Cashman's a genius. Bow down to the Cashman. By the way, the Mets have some issues themselves. Another brutal loss for them. They've lost 6 of 7. My biggest issue from last time with the Mets, obviously, Manaea can't have that type of start.
But he did at least go 5 2/3. It's baby steps here. Like, you needed a starting pitcher to give you some length at the very least. So at least they got that with Minaya. Unfortunately, in that 6th inning, he gave up 5 runs. The good news is the Mets come back. Alonso with a big home run. Offense battles back. The loss on me, to me, is on 2 things. Number one, third base coach Sarbro not being aggressive there in a spot where you had the Guardians dead to rights. They were on the ropes. Don't take your chances, even though it's Soto and Alonso. I'm not playing it safe, especially against a lights-out reliever like Cade Smith, who blew Alonso away. Like, Alonso's having a great night, 4 for 4, and the thought process is, okay, even if they walk Soto, all Pete has to do is hit a sac fly. Yeah, that's great, but he's also got to do it against Cade Smith. Does that not come into play against a loaded pitcher like that and one of the better bullpen guys in the league? You get a base hit from Lindor down the line, you get a guy on first, you got to score him on that. Got to be aggressive there. And Mendoza said it after the game was the right move to hold him. I disagree. I understand why he would say that. I believe that's the incorrect decision, not just based on the result, based on a lot of things. Worst case scenario, he's thrown out at home. You have Soto coming up with a runner in scoring position. If they walk Soto, you still have Alonso coming up with a runner in scoring position. That's the worst case, that all you need is a base hit from either Soto or Alonso to win the game. Still got to do it against the same pitcher. Alonso got blown away, and then it was down to McNeil. Let me ask you, if it was going to come down to McNeil, would you have taken the chance? You'd probably send him. So I thought the Mets played it safe, and they got burnt. They had the Guardians beat had they been aggressive there. And I think it would have been worth the risk. The other part of it is Brett Beatty should not be at third base late in games. He's not a good defensive third baseman. Neither is Vientos. Therein lies the problem. They have one good defensive third baseman. That's Mauricio. You take him out of the game, you can't put Beatty there. Right decision to throw to second base, wrong throw. Didn't execute the throw. I'd value Acuna on the roster more than I would Beatty. Those are my 2 issues with the Mets, but at least there were some positive signs. Now, look, they've lost 6 or 7 here. I mean, enough's enough. Got to start winning some games because it goes from, well, they had a game and a half lead over the Phillies. Oh, well, they have a half-game lead. Okay, they're just a half back. Well, now they're a game and a half back, and that could start to pile up quickly. You got the Brewers looming this weekend, the best team in baseball. Philly's been playing much better. You want to win the division here. All of a sudden, a half-game deficit could turn into 3.5 or 4.5, and now you're chasing as the schedule starts to dwindle. We're getting closer to the end of the season, and the Mets are going backwards. Now, for now, it's just a game and a half. The damage has been done here, 6 or 7. That's fine. Enough. Have to stop it now and get some consistent length out of these starters, which, by the way, there's a plan in place. You heard about it yesterday with the Mets saying both Mendoza and Stern said that Montas is going to pitch on Saturday in his scheduled start, but they might have an opener in front of him. To me, that means if he doesn't pitch well, whether as a starter or behind an opener or whatever, he doesn't pitch well, they're going to start to call up some of the young guys, whether it's McLean, Sproat, whatever it may be. The Mets know that that's the next plan in this season-long process to try to elevate the ball club to a World Series caliber team. And unfortunately, the starting pitchers that they have right now have not done that. Whether it's Minaya, who's building himself back up, Senga, who was an ace early in the year but still never going to give you real length. Peterson's been a force atop the rotation, but he's the one guy. He's been the outlier. Holmes is starting to peter out. Montas has been effectively or essentially useless. They are at some point, sooner than later, going to have to dip in to the minors and get McLean or Sproat up here and hope that those guys can be difference makers in the rotation. And I believe that they can. And I do believe that the offense at some point will get consistent. Maybe October, but at some point Soto's going to carry him. Lindor's been red hot right now. So I'm less worried about the bats, more worried about the starting pitching and a little other stuff with the Mets. Like I said, the cautious decision-making from the third base coach. Okay, that happens, but valuing offense over defense late in games, in particular with Beatty being on the roster as opposed to Acuna. BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Christine is calling from Queens. What's up, Christine?
Hi, Sal. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Christine?
I'm a very disgruntled Yankee fan, very disgruntled. I called Joe last week. In my opinion, everybody's got to go. But remember, Sal, there's an expression, you can't put lipstick on a pig.
Mm-hmm.
They could bring up they could trade for as many people as they want. This guy Bird was already down. They Their roster, as you said before, constructed poorly. What are they going to do with Stanton if Judge goes back or can't play the outfield? I mean, it's just a disgrace. And you go back and forth with Aaron Boone. I think a lot of this is on Aaron Boone. He doesn't know how to manage the end of a game. He does things that I watch Yankees every night, Sal. I've been watching them since I'm 6 years old. We're talking 67 years. Okay? He doesn't. I coached varsity baseball. He doesn't, not that I'm saying I'm an expert or but to me, he gets lost at the end of the game.
Can I ask you a question, Christine, about your coaching expertise? Have you ever been kicked out of a 10U game?
A game? Well, my team has held me back from getting kicked out.
Okay. So you're a fiery coach. Okay, we respect that on the BT and Sal
I'm
show.
a very fiery coach. I'm a fiery competitor. I didn't like to lose when I played ball. I didn't like to lose when I coached. And I coached a lot of different sports because I
And you think this is on Boone?
I think a lot of it is on Boone. Some of it is on Boone. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And Brian Cashman is like the Pope. He's got to die to lose that position. I don't understand it.
We don't want to see that, of course.
No, of course not. Of course not. But that's my the analogy. He's like the Pope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that, Christine, and thank you for the call, and we appreciate the passion and the insight. I don't think that this is an Aaron Boone issue. So you could say that it sounds like I'm an apologist for Boone. I'm not. If there's a move to be questioned or, I don't like that the Yankees organization doesn't hold guys accountable. Starting at the top. To me, Cashman hasn't been held accountable. Boone hasn't been held accountable. And then the players have not been held accountable. But that's a philosophy. I don't like the fact that the younger players are hung out there to dry. There's been a lack of development with the younger players for multiple years or generations of players. Maybe generations is too strong, but, different variations of younger players. It's not just this group. It was the prior group, the group before that, the baby bombers. This has been going on for years. Prospects come up, they are overhyped, and they do not live up to the hype, and they are left to go out there and try to figure it out. I want to try to fix it. How come the Mets can send Francisco Alvarez down, hold him accountable, send him down? Yankees did it today with Bird. Jake Bird, sent him down. Didn't get the job done in his 2 outings with the Yankees after they traded for him with the Rockies. Sent him down. Hey, there we go. We're on to something here. Instead, you ask Cashman, why haven't you sent Volpe down? Oh, dude, what's the alternative? Well, that's not a good answer. Oh, and you, the GM, you're asking me, a radio host, what's the alternative? You need to figure it out. I'll tell you this. I can't have this guy running out there at shortstop who can't make a throw. What's the alternative? Year 3, he's hitting 200. You said he was going to be a star. I mean, is that the ownership philosophy too? Well, you want us to fire Brian Cashman. What's the alternative? Maybe it is. That to me is not good. Not good enough. But I don't look at this team and say Boone is the primary culprit. Has he been great? No, obviously he hasn't been great. He's the manager. He's got to take some of the blame. But he also got them to a World Series last year. So you could play that part of it as well. To me, it's not the manager. It's the roster construction and the mindset, the lack of accountability that the Yankees have throughout the organization. They hired Boone with a plan in place, with an idea in mind of how they wanted to. I hate even use the word coddle, even in jest, because it is such a demeaning thing, saying they wanted to coddle the players. But they wanted to have a, can I say softer manager? They wanted to have somebody who was going to protect his players and love his players. That was the thing back then. Remember Mickey Callaway? We're going to love our guys more than anybody else before. Jesus. I mean, how about some tough love? Mickey was loving more than just the players, unfortunately, for the Mets and for others involved. But how about a little tough love? Just because Boone, let's just use an example. If Boone were to hold Volpe or Jazz accountable, what does that mean? Is he a bad guy? Oh, can't play for him. The manager yelled at me. He talked sternly to me, Dad. Suck it up. Tough love. You can still love players and protect players and respect players. You also got to get them to respect you and respect the game. That's something that you set the tone with early on, like Mendy did last year. The Mets may have some issues. One issue they don't have is the lack of accountability or a lack of respect for authority or a lack of respect for the game. They make mistakes, of course. Guys lollygagging at times. That happens, but then they're held accountable. They're not repeated offenders the way the Yankees have become here. Kyle is calling from North Babylon. What's up, Kyle? Kyle, you with us? Hayden is calling from Manhattan. What's up, Hayden?
Hey, what's up, Sal? Thanks for taking my call. How are you?
How are you, Hayden?
I'm good, thanks. I know I'm a Met fan, and I was upset with the loss, but, we have to give credit to Edwin. He's looked incredible over the last 35, I think it was. He's let up one run with 50 strikeouts.
Reliever of the month in July. He's been nasty.
Nasty. I know we always, get our hopes a little worried when he gets out there, but he always shows us. But I'm nervous that our pitching really won't take us, and so with our bullpen, can we go 5 in a playoff game and then just have Rogers, Helsley, Garrett, Diaz? I don't trust Stanek.
Not everyone. No, Stanek's not going to be in there. Not everyone. They're going to need length from the starters, and they know that. So either Minaya, Senga have to join Peterson in picking it up, or they're going to have to call up McClain and Sproat. What do you think's more likely?
Right. I know they will have to call him up. There's what's the whole thing about their years and controls. So they
Doesn't matter.
Call him up too early.
Doesn't matter.
But,
they want to win a World Series or not. Those guys are going to have to be up here. I trust the bullpen and I trust the starters to an extent. You can't do it. First of all, forget about the postseason. They got to get there. Now, we all think that they're going to get there, but imagine the wear and tear, the taxing that it could take over the course of the next 50-plus games on the bullpen if these starters continue to go 4 or 5 innings.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can't happen.
We don't have that killer instinct. Yeah, we don't have that killer instinct, especially last night. No one wants to win the game, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say that, Hayden, and thank you for the call. I don't know if I would say that they don't have the killer instinct. I wish that Sarborough, the third base coach, would have had that and put the foot on the throat of the Guardians. In that moment, in real time, now I know he's on the field, I'm watching on TV, but I've seen these plays a million times before. The right fielder was playing closer to center. They said it on the broadcast. He had to come a long way. You could feel that to go get that ball. Taylor's fast. He's on the move when the ball is hit. He's running around the bases. The equation was there. You've got to make them make a great play. Dig that ball out cleanly in right field. Make a clean throw to the cutoff man. A clean relay home. Perfect throw, perfect tag. A lot has to happen to beat you in that spot. And even if you do get beat, you've got 2 outs, Lindor in scoring position for Soto or Alonso. If they walk Soto, then Alonso. I'd rather take my chances with that than I would being passive there, playing it safe, saying, we need to sack fly from Pete. No. Be aggressive in that spot. Make them make the play. So as far as killer instinct goes, maybe they lacked it in that particular spot, but I think the Mets have a good hunger for the game. That was a good fight. Again, I'm not giving out participation trophies here, but they were down 5-0. You felt like, oh, man, another stinker from the Mets. They battled back to a point where they should have won the game. Anytime a home team loses a game, not only that you come back from down 5 in, but a home team loses a game in extra innings, with the way the rules are now, that's hard to do. You got to win those games. You got a free runner at second base. Hold the opponent to, at the worst, 1 run. The Mets couldn't do that, and you should be good to go. And they weren't. They had a chance in the 9th, let the Guardians off the mat, and then they blew it in the 10th. BT and Sal on the Fan.
Baseball heartbreak, football glory. WFAN covers every win, loss, and headline from the Yankees, Mets, Jets, and Giants. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
The Fun in the Sun event is on at Nielsen Dodge. Your new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram is here with 0 down payment, 0% financing available, and the credit help you deserve. Now that's fun.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude X 4x4, just $359 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
You can get up to $1,500 over book value for any trade.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So, for super hot deals and fun savings, remember,
Make this miss the summer event.
With approval term Jeep 24 Ram 42 months due at sign, Jeep 4654 Ram 4989 and tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Greatness is here. All 830 of our famous footwear stores now carry Jordan brand. So it's easy to score Jordan brand footwear and accessories, from hats to backpacks to socks, for the full family at a store near you. Famous Footwear's in-store fit experts will help you find the perfect style and the perfect fit. Because every day is a chance to make it famous. Come in and shop Jordan brand footwear and accessories at your local Famous Footwear store today.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, fast, friendly delivery, and flexible financing to fit your budget. Go to mybobs.com for details. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com.
Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture. Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
This is Sal Licata. If you live in New Jersey, your electricity rates are going up again. If your current cooling system is over 15 years old, get ahead of that rate increase now with a new high-efficiency Carrier AC system. There's only one company to call. It's my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's air conditioning experts for decades. Take it from me. You'll save money and stay cooler. These guys are experts. Contact my friends now at EdisonHVAC.com. That's EdisonHVAC.com.
When you travel well, your KLM Royal Dutch Airlines ticket takes you to more than just your destination. It takes you to winding streets, spontaneous detours, and the realization that neither of you is actually good with directions.
Recalculating route.
And when the final shortcut taken isn't exactly short,
Welcome aboard KLM Royal.
our crew is here to give you a trip home that goes just as planned. KLM Royal Dutch Airlines. When you travel, travel well.
Dedication isn't born in the light of day. It's carved in the quiet hours before the world blinks awake. At Boar's Head, we rise with a mission to deliver craftsmanship worthy of your table. A slice of something special folded into every moment worth savoring. Because dedication means delivering only the very best. Boar's Head, committed to craft since 1905.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT South back on the Fan. The meat of the order for the Yankees last night didn't do enough. Obviously scoring 5 runs.
was great for the Yanks, but, it's better than nothing, better than what we saw a lot of times over the course of the weekend in Miami, but did not get the job done. Stanton had the big blast, a 2-run homer, just a laser beam. Looked like a golf shot. We were talking about golf before. Looked like it was off the tee from Giancarlo Stanton. So he had the big 2-run homer. Bellinger with another couple of hits. He's been tremendous. Rosario, I'm holding back a sneeze. Oh, crap. I'm trying. I mean, there's only so much you can do here. I may have to let this one out. Hold on. No, is it going away?
Do it. Just go for it.
Nah, okay. I think it went away for now.
God bless you anyway.
Well, hold on. It's coming back up again. Like, what are you supposed to do? I try to hold it down. You can't let it out when you're trying to talk. Me the order. Bellinger was good. Rosario against the lefty had a couple. It's Goldschmidt really the top of the order. He got things started. Offense was the problem, though. Later in the game, guys not being able to tack on runs. I mean, the Yankees scored, 5 runs in the first 4 innings, and that's it. I mean, you got to be able to tack on runs. That's why they lost the game. But the meat of the order, specifically last night, Stanton, Bellinger, Rosario, those guys doing their job early on in the game. When you're looking for the meat for your order, choose Boar's Head, committed to craft since 1905. Boar's Head was always a thing in our family. That's for sure. So love Boar's Head. There you have it with the meat of the order. Bottom of the order needs to do more. Hoff, I've been teasing this story for 2 days. I'll tease it one more time. Because remember yesterday I was saying there was something that happened to me over the course of the weekend that stunk even worse than the Mets and Yankees. Remind me. I'm going to do it at 12:40. We'll take the calls here. Then we'll come back and I'll get to that. Because I didn't get to do it yesterday. We were so busy. We'll do that here. Something that stunk that happened to me over the course of the weekend that was worse than both the Mets and Yankees. And that was yesterday. And both the Mets and Yankees went out there and had both brutal losses last night. Steve is calling from West Islip. What's up, Steve? Whoa.
What's up, man? How much longer are we going to go on with this charade that managers actually make a difference in how grown men play a sport? Like, it's just, I'm tired of it. I know they're paid to be a mouthpiece. Like, I get it, but it's just old at this point. Like, it feels like we're playing wrestling. Like the managers don't do anything. They're just there wearing a uniform, making some little marks in a book. Like, it's just silly. Like,
I'm more with you.
Accountable.
Okay, I'm more with you. So wait, you think that the managers are less important than they used to be, correct? Just trying to follow along here.
Yeah, like I get it. They have to make out the card, and they have to make the call to the bullpen, and they got to take questions after the game. But they're not making the players make errors. They're not making the players strike out. They're not making the players get in the stupid running position. Like it's all sports, across the line.
So what would you
really do anything?
Well, I mean, head coaches in the NFL are a little bit different. But what would you do then?
They inspire. I'm not saying they don't inspire, but they don't do anything for the play on the field. Maybe they get the players hyped up, but they don't do anything. Like these are players with like out of the world skills. Like the manager, the coach is not doing anything to make that guy that runs like a 3-second 4-0 whatever into like a 2-point. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. But Steve, let me ask you it this way. When we talk about it, because I do agree that the manager's impact on a game is not the way that it used to be. And I certainly believe that the manager can only do so much, but the players eventually got to take some responsibility if he doesn't respond. But if you knew that somebody, your manager in whatever it is, work or a sporting game, whatever, was going to hold you accountable if you didn't do your job, don't you think you'd be more likely to make sure you don't screw up?
I mean, I'm on the biggest stage in the world. I'm trying my hardest not to look like an idiot on live TV. So that's my motivation.
But then how come it keeps happening? I understand what you're saying. How it keeps happening with multiple players? You tell me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like a coach making like an 80th of what I'm making, like giving me like a side eye, is not really gonna motivate me. Like I'm motivating myself. I think I got to that level of where I'm playing because I motivated myself.
Right, but when you continue to do stupid things, then what? I'm not disagreeing. I think we're getting somewhere here. The fact that the manager isn't making anything and the players could tune him out and be like, yeah, but you're not making squat in comparison to what I'm making. But therein lies the problem. Whatever message that needs to be sent, and thank you for the call, Steve, from above, whether it's Hal, whatever, Cashman, Boone, right on down. Like, there's got to be a level of accountability. That means when you come into this organization, when you are a New York Yankee, this is how we do things. And I don't care how much money you make. If you don't do things this way, you're not going to be playing for us. Go play with the Marlins if you want to get picked off for first base or doubled off for first base on a pop-up to second. You want to play those games and have your head in the clouds? I don't know what kind of games you're playing with your former team. You guys used to do that. You want to do that? Then go play with the Marlins. Here with the Yankees, we play baseball the right way. I respect trying to make a play. There is no play to be made when you're on first base and there's a pop-up hit to the second baseman. Where are you going? That's just stupid. And if you want to play stupid baseball, you play it somewhere else. You take your millions and you go play somewhere else. That's what I would have told him. That's me holding players accountable. At some point, somebody's got to get the message that if you don't produce, if you're giving up runs left and right, you're not going to be the closer anymore. If you're hitting 200, you're not going to be in the lineup anymore. If you're throwing balls in the dirt, can't field one cleanly, hitting 200, far underperforming, you're not going to be in the big leagues anymore. Like, there's got to be some level of accountability from somebody. Otherwise, what are we doing? I agree, yeah, it's on the players. Ultimately, it's on the players. And if Judge fails in the postseason, that's not on Aaron Boone or Cashman. That's on Judge. If a guy walks off of second base late in a game that you need to win, after your team has had repeated issues on the base paths and been called out publicly by many people for doing stupid things, but yet you're on second base and you think there are 3 outs and you walk off second base, like, that to me shows a culture issue. It's not a one-time thing. Dominguez did it in Boston. Volpe's done it. Jazz has done it. Wells has done it. This continues to happen. Is it magnified because it's the Yankees? Yeah. You're the Yankees. This is New York. If you do it in Pittsburgh, people would be like, yeah, well, what do you expect? There's a bunch of minor leaguers out there. You do it in New York, we're saying, hey, what do you expect? This is the Yankees. You can't do this. Look at their payroll. Look at the talent that they have. Oh, every other team does it as well. No, that's loser talk. Well, they do it too. You know, if you got kids running up the slide at a playground, young kids, you know, this is where I'm going through the learning process as a parent. We had an issue the other day at American Dream. Sammy, my daughter Sammy, wanted to go into the playground thing there, the Paw Patrol, whatever the hell it's called, playground, instead of going on some of the rides. And she's standing. She has a bad habit of standing at the bottom of the slide. I'm telling her, Sammy, you get out of there. You know, you say it once, all right, Sammy, you got to move from there. And she's, no, Daddy, and she's playing and laughing. I'm like, no, you can't stand there because, you know, somebody could come down, kick her in the face, and now it's a big problem. So I'm trying to prevent the bigger problem, nip it in the bud. You know what I'm saying, Booney? So when she doesn't listen, I have to grab her and pick her up and move her from there. And what do you think happens? She freaks out and starts crying. But I don't care. Because I can't have her sitting there at the bottom of the slide risking getting hurt. Like, there are rules you got to put in place. You could go down the slide. You got to go up it. Go the right way. Go up the ladder or whatever the hell it is and come down it. You can't stand here. Those things have to be put in place. Otherwise, it's okay, yeah, stand there, fine, get kicked in the face, then she gets hurt, and then you're going to go to the playground again and do it again. And even if it doesn't result in a significant injury, it will at some point continue to get worse. And then she's not only going to be standing at the bottom of the slide, then she'll climb up the slide and get into it. Like, you see what I'm saying? Got to get out in front of these things. And the Yankees, this has been going on for years. 4 years. It's too late now. And it's not just one. Well, you can't do that. Can't have it. Can't have it. Won't happen again. It keeps happening. Gary's in Monroe, New Jersey. What's up, Gary?
Hey, Sal. How you doing, man? Thanks for taking my call. Yo, listen what I'm going to say. I got such a bone to pick. You favoring Boone. I can't believe you like this guy. Let me tell you something. We had a 7-game lead. We got swept by Toronto. We got swept by the Marlins. Yo, he puts guys in the wrong position. He had Chaz at third base. Now, let me tell you something. You keep ragging Chaz for one mistake. You know how many games he won for the Yankees? And let me tell you something. The Yankees have such a talented team. That lady was so right. Yesterday he used 4 closes to shut out the Texas Rangers. Come on, man. He's not managing. He's a little league manager.
Okay, let's see, Gary. So let me talk and counter you. You said he played Jazz.
Go ahead, counter me.
You said he played Jazz at third base, right? And that's Boone's fault, not the organization's fault, right? Your words.
He's managing, ain't he?
Oh,
he's the manager, right? Or is there someone else managing?
Who's he going to play at third base?
You had a bunch of guys. You had LeMahieu. He could have played third.
Gary. You want to play LeMahieu at third base?
Yeah, I would have played him.
First of all, LeMahieu stinks. First of all, he stinks and he's washed up. Second of all, he couldn't play third base. No, Gary, he couldn't play third base. So LeMahieu's not an option. He physically could not play third base. So is that the manager's fault or is it the organization's fault for not having a third baseman?
Let me ask you another question.
Answer my question first.
Every day's a different lineup. Who's that?
It's the front office, Gary. It's the front office. Just like when they didn't have a third base.
Then he shouldn't be manager. He's a puppet then. He's not a manager.
Different story, but it's the organization fault. You're blaming him. You think that it's his fault. You don't have a clue. It's not his fault. It's above that. Oh, you played Jazz at third base. Yeah, why? Because he didn't have a third baseman. Your response, thinking that you know everything about the Yankees and you're on top of it, is incorrect. DJ LeMahieu, play him at third. He couldn't physically play third. So who are you going to play at third? I don't agree with playing Jazz at third. I also don't agree with going into a year without a third baseman. That's not Boone's fault. That's the Yankees' fault. That's Brian Cashman's fault. As for last night, is it Boone's fault that Fried, the big bad ace, big bad Max Fried, plan B, $218 million man, better than Soto, rather have Fried? Is it Boone's fault that he couldn't get out of 5 innings? Couldn't give you more than 5 innings? Fried was awful last night. Awful. That's Boone's fault? You can get on Boone for saying Williams shouldn't have been the closer. At some point, he probably was going to pitch last night. Boone's fault for going by the book, following the orders of the front office, sure. This is not an Aaron Boone problem. Boone's fault that his team, his big bad offense, couldn't tack on a run after the 4th inning? That's Aaron Boone's fault? I'm not being an apologist for Aaron Boone. I mean, you see what it is. I'm saying there's a lack of accountability from the top on down. That includes Aaron Boone. I'm just saying that for those of you like Gary who think that firing Aaron Boone is going to make things better, I don't know what you're watching. This is not an Aaron Boone problem. This is a culture problem. This is an organizational problem. And this is by design. And you're defending Jazz? You know how many games he's won for you? Jazz Chisholm got doubled off of first base on a pop-up to the second baseman. And then afterward said he'd do the same thing again. And tried to say that he would have made it safely to second base if the ball dropped. And he was playing for the ball to drop. Anybody who has either watched baseball for a half hour or played baseball at any level would tell you that what Jazz Chisholm did and said were two of the dumbest things that have ever been done or said on a baseball field. It doesn't take a rocket science to figure out that that was an imbecilic play. Is imbecilic even a word? Idiotic play. That's definitely a word. Can't happen. I'm not saying he's an awful player. He was an all-star. He does strike out way too much. You know what Jazz is consistently great at? Seriously. Celebrating. He's consistently great at it. When he hits a home run, he nails that celebration every time. When he gets to second base with the double, he'll give you an emphatic pump. Nails it every time. He strikes out way too much. He gives away at bats way too much. He's not great in the field. They botched a ball last night. It was Jazz's ball. It was on his side of the base. I'm not sure what he was waiting for. Hard hit ball. He didn't even make an effort for it. And him and Volpe kind of looked at each other. He made another misplay at second base. Not necessarily an error, but another play that a good second baseman would have gotten. I'm not trying to pick on Jazz. I'm just saying he's not as good as you think. And he made one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen on the baseball field and he didn't even take accountability afterward. He said he'd do it again. That's a player you want to back and have on your team? Not me. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. I'll get to it. I've been teasing it for a day and a half. Something that stunk that happened to me over the weekend that was worse than both the Mets and the Yankees. Something that doesn't stink, something that I love that also happened to me over the weekend. Surfside iced tea and vodka. All the flavors are delicious. It's made with real premium stateside vodka, real brewed tea. They're only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, no carbonation. If you've tried the product, you know that you can barely tell there's any alcohol in it. It's so good, it's dangerous. You just drink it all day, and you don't even know it. Sneaks up on you pretty good. Great for golfing, tailgating, by the beach, by the pool, just drinking at a sports bar or nightclub as well. And I love them at a baseball game, too. They have them both Citi Field and Yankee Stadium. Look for the can with the sunset stripes. Sunshine in a can, Surfside iced tea, and vodka.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Yeah, it really comes down to Aaron Judge coming back and being the dominant force that he is. So that's what Brian Cashman is banking on.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. 23,000 fans packed Soldier Field over the weekend, and the Bears' offense gave them flashbacks, and not the good kind. Delay of game penalties, drives stalled, the defense owned the day. Caleb Williams and the starters looked rushed, not ready. Nervous energy? Maybe, but this team's got 4 weeks to turn tension into timing. Otherwise, it's the same old punchline in a new era. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we believe athletes are defined by their journey, not the medals they win. And creating a safer stage for all levels of competition is our priority. Join the movement to end abuse at uscenterforsafesport.org.
Hot damn! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and an 8% kick of alcohol. Dial up the fun with Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Juice box. I'm a mom.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check. Oh, hot sauce. Take it.
Really? I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins, a balloon. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 per month on Experience Beyond. Finance agreement $829.99 and qualifying ported. For well-qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay out via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Sal Licata here, and wow, are we thrilled with the incredible job CertaPro Painters did on our house. So clean, so efficient, they actually listened to us and even satisfied my wife, which, as you know, isn't easy. If you've been putting off painting because of the economy or tariff worries, don't. Painting your house is the easiest and most efficient way to protect and raise your home's value. Do what we did. Call CertaPro Painters today.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
When a
it comes to getting the guaranteed lowest price on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. And when it comes to getting more free services for life than anywhere else on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. So when you're in the market for the best deal on Falcon tires, get to Town Fair, because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. And I mean absolutely nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the new 2026 Kia Sportage X Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. I had a tomahawk steak last night that was absolutely cooked to perfection. Now, you already know how it was done. With the Chef IQ Sense, the wireless thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat, whether you're cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill. It is built to withstand extreme heat, and the app alerts you when to take the steaks off the grill and even when to flip them. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense right now at chefiq.com and make sure to put the code word Boomer in for 15% off.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Second, 888-808-1019. Couple of things here. So I've been talking about how much I loved moving to New Jersey. You know, I left Long Island, April of 2024. So it's been a little over a year. And everybody asks, oh, man, how is, my friends and family, whatever, they come over, especially people from Long Island that are like, wow, you like Jersey? Because I was always one of those people like, I'm not moving to Jersey. Like, I'm from Long Island. But I love Jersey. However, there are things that I'm learning, and I'm not so sure if I do love it any longer. So Saturday, we get back from SummerSlam. Hoff and I went. Hoff brought his kid, and Mitch in Fort Lee. Mitch drove me home from there, whatever. It took Hoff, so always have fun hanging out with Mitch. Big wrestling fan, good to take him. So Mitch in Fort Lee and Hoff, they drop me off. I go inside late Saturday. It wasn't even that late, actually. I think the event ended at like 9:30, whatever it may be. Go in, okay, everybody's asleep, no big deal. Watch a little TV, go to sleep. And at some point, like I'd say 2:30 in the morning, you know how when you're dreaming, sometimes it's based off of what's going on in reality? And in my dream, I was smelling this like burnt rubber type smell, but it was uncomfortable. And whatever I was doing in my dream, I don't remember, but I remember being uncomfortable. And then I woke up and realized that this was actually a smell in the house. And now I'm freaking out because I'm like, okay, it doesn't smell like gas, but is it a leak? Is something burning? Is is something going on with the HVAC system? I don't know. So like now at 2:30 in the morning, I'm panicked. I got my wife in there. I got my daughter in there. I'm worried about, I can't. It's a smell that was like inside the house that felt like I couldn't escape. It wasn't just, no, that's a weird smell. It was like, what the hell is going on in here? I go outside to see if the smell is outside. I smell it outside. And now I'm like, okay, this is a problem. What's happening here? Is there like a thing? Is this like fire from somewhere and the smoke is coming here? Is that what's going on? I go out front, didn't really smell it. And now I really don't know what to do. I go downstairs. I look to see what's going on. I unplug the toaster oven. That's always a thing. I'm like, yeah, don't really see any fires. Don't see any sparks. I'm not really, like the smell is here, but I'm not really able to put my finger on it, where it is or where it's coming from. So I called the cops. Because I'm in a panic, right? It's 2:30 in the morning. I don't know what to do. Do I got to get my wife and kid up? Do we got to get out of the house? I don't know. Is this thing going to burn down? What the hell's going on here? And I call the cops, and they come about 10 minutes or so later, and I'm pacing now, and I got the dog on the leash, Maddox, just in case the cops get there, who the hell knows what's going on. Maddox is friendly, but I don't want him jumping on the cop. Who knows? The cops pulls the gun out and shoots Maddox. Now we get a real problem. I have no idea. Better safe than sorry, so I'll keep Maddox with me. Anyway, cop shows up, and I'm like, hey, man, thanks for coming. Do you smell that? And he's like, not really. And I'm like, no, it's here. Come on, then take him out back. And he's like, yeah, it smells a little something, but nothing. I'm like, okay, let's go inside, because that's where really it was. Walk inside, and gives a defiant look. He's a jacked guy. Cop is probably thinking, this little knucklehead. I'm in my shorts and, gym shorts and a T-shirt. I just woke up at 2:30 in the morning. And I'm like freaked out. I'm panicking. I call the cops, 2:30 in the morning. He's coming in. And then he gives me it's a skunk. Okay. All right. Well, we identified the problem. Now, I'm trusting this cop's nose. Like, they said they were sent to the fire department, whatever. It's a cop. Fair enough. Okay. He's trained. I Googled. He's trained to detect these things. I just wanted to make sure. And after, giving a couple sniffs throughout the course of the house, the backyard, said it's a skunk. And I'm like, all right, well, what do we do about it? And he's like, are you from around here? I'm like, well, I just moved here. I've been living here for a year or so. Why? What? It's like, you're living in the woods, man. This is like, I'm like, what? This is normal? I've never smelled this I'm 45 years old, soon to be 46. I've never in my life. The only time I smell skunks, maybe when I'm driving on the Merritt Parkway or the Hutchins Park, whatever it may be, around there, I'll smell it, coming home, and you just get that, it punches you in the face. But that's the parkway. Like, that's the woods, literal woods outside. I live in a house, not in the woods. Yeah, I get the snake. I worry about the bears. There's earthquakes now left and right in Jersey. The last thing I need is a skunk. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, it's a skunk. I'm like, okay, well, how do we fix it? It's like, dude, you live in the mountains. This happens all the time. Open up the windows. And basically that was that. And now I couldn't, and then he left, and I said, okay, thank you. And I still wasn't 100% sure that was going on. But, open up some of the windows, put the fan on. I still couldn't sleep. My wife, she's passed out. She couldn't care less. I'm like, this you can't smell. A skunk? Sticking up the whole house, that you can't smell. God forbid I have a little, gas myself. That's the biggest issue in the world. But the skunk that is destroying the house, giving me a headache, I can't sleep, that she could pass out, no problem. Snoring away. Like, go back to bed. You're waking us all up. What are you doing? I'm panicking is what I'm doing. Freaking out. I can't breathe. The skunk's killing me. Where's it coming from? Is it in the house? I don't know. I guess it wasn't. Then I texted my guys. It goes pest control. Hey, what do we do here? I got to smell the skunk in the house. It's just like open the windows, let it go out. It should be fine. And then it did dissipate throughout the course of the day, and it's fine. But hey, I didn't sign up for this. Snakes, bears, skunks, earthquakes. What the hell's going on in New Jersey? Did you feel the earthquake the other night, Dove? You heard about it.
I did. My wife did.
And there was another one I just read before.
Yeah, I got the text from my wife that they got another aftershock.
Another one. Because she was the one who was calling you freaking out after SummerSlam.
I know, yeah.
Now, have either of you guys had the skunk problem? Have you ever smelt a skunk stinking up the house?
Of course, all the time.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Not in the house, no. Outside the house.
Yeah, okay, outside, whatever. You go outside and you're like, oh, well, wow, what's that? Inside the house, in my bedroom, it felt like the AC was pumping that skunk smell. Maybe he did, let loose near the HVAC system outside. That's what it smelled like. I had to change the filters. I shut it down for the day. I let the house breathe. And then you open the screen door because you can't have the glass, or you open the screen door, and guess what happens with that? Sammy's pressing on the screen door. Stop, Sammy, stop. And of course that breaks. And my wife's like, well, what do you want to do with this? What do you want me to do with this? I don't know, but I don't have the money to fix it right now, so just put it away and put the sliding glass door back. Like, it's one thing after another. I've never had in my life skunks smell up the entire house before.
No, that's a first for me. I've had the only thing that we have on our block, because a lot of people love their fire pits, so they'll be burning that stuff. And then my wife's like, "Is something on fire in the house?" I'm like, "No, it's outside. Go outside. You smell the fire."
But it smells. You could smell the smoke in the fire. Okay, this was different, dude. This was the skunk paralyzed me. I couldn't breathe. It was awful. I wouldn't recommend it anyway. And the worst part is you don't know how to stop it. There's nothing to do. It could just happen again. And they're like, oh, you're lucky your dog didn't get sprayed with it. And I guess if the dog gets sprayed with it, then it's a real mess. Like, because now you got to get the smell off of him. I mean, I don't know. Maddox ever gets sprayed by a skunk, we may have to put him to bed. I mean, I don't know if there's any way to recover from that.
For a skunk smell?
Oh, I don't want to deal with that. You can't get rid of it. I don't want him in the pool and he's going to make that dirty. You got to book these appointments months out to get him to go get a haircut and a bath. It was horrible.
I think you got to, soak them in, tomatoes.
I'm not cut out for living in the woods. Hey, if I wanted to go in the woods, I'd put up a tent and I'd go camping somewhere. I don't do that. I want to live in a nice house. I don't want to be bothered with snakes and the worries of bears or skunks. What is this?
Wish this house be built.
I don't know, Dove, but I thought Jersey was, it's not Montana. I'm not upstate New York in the woods, no. I mean, there are trees around, sure. And I got those vultures flying over. Those big birds, man.
Oh, the turkey vultures?
I don't know what they are, but those are big birds. I'm like, you see one and it's okay. Then I see 2, 3, 7, 8 start to swarm. My mom's like, oh, look at that. I'm like, look at that. Get Maddox. Get the hell out of here. I'm going inside. You can enjoy the pool. I want out. I don't want to mess with nature. Dude, come on. We're living in their area now? No, thank you. I'm not cut out for it. And that's what I told the guys at Ghost Pest Control. I was like, dude, I didn't sign up for this. You could say it's a nice neighborhood and all that stuff. We got to stop this. I don't want to deal with any of it. I don't want bugs or one thing. Little spiders or insects. I don't even like that. But at least that's, par for the course. Snakes, bears, skunk. Who wants to live there? Not me. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. The number to call. We'll get back to your calls when we come back. Something else that stinks, both the Mets and Yankees. We'll dissect that when we come back, 888-808-1019.
The Yankees take on Texas, 8:05 tonight.
Giddy up, baby. Giddy up. God, it's a home run.
Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play on the Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Now at Verizon, lock in our low price, plus free roaming included in Puerto Rico. Discover the best mofongo. Post that perfect sunset on La Isla and save big with Verizon while you do it. Switch and get 4 lines for just $30 per line. See? Just $30 per month with unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Plus calls, texts, and data in Puerto Rico included, so you can use your phone sin problema. Stop by your New York Verizon store today. For unlimited welcome in times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Cattina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey. 1 legendary name, Ray Cattina. More inventory, featuring one of the East Coast's largest selections of new and pre-owned Mercedes-Benz vehicles. More convenience with 3 state-of-the-art service centers to keep your Mercedes-Benz running like new. And of course, legendary Ray Cattina customer service, where you always come first. Experience the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
For all station contest rules, go to WFAN.com/rules.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
Hey Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Sunday, September 7th for a special celebration. It's C.C. Sabathia Replica Hall of Fame Plaque Day, and the first 40,000 guests in attendance will receive a C.C. Sabathia Replica Hall of Fame plaque presented by WFAN. Tickets are going fast. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today. Welcome back Hall of Famer C.C. Sabathia on Sunday, September 7th. Buy tickets now at Yankees.com/tickets.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit flushingbank.com today. Member FDIC.
The home of Yankees radio is WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 102. I'm Andrew Bogish. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. And by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. Aaron Judge has a little more rescuing to do than he might have expected as he returns from his forearm strain. The Yankees now 5.5 back in the division, 2.5 behind the Red Sox for the top wildcard spot. Judge yet to officially come off the IL, but the Yankees did open a roster spot this morning by sending Jake Bird to AAA. They are also reportedly DFAing JT Brubaker, and new outfielder Austin Slater might need the IL for last night's hamstring issue. Game 2 in Texas, 8:05 here on the Fan. Clay Holmes throws the first pitch in Queens at 7:10 over on Odyssey Mets Radio. That, of course, is Game 2 for the Mets and Guardians. And Jets rookie tight end Mason Taylor will miss at least a week with a high ankle sprain. Fan weather is sponsored by Flushing Bank. It is 81 degrees with some sun in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
No negotiator. Not even Chris Sabian can save your life. I could creep in the house, cut the phones, put a sock in your mouth, let the monkey out.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. 888-808-1019. The number to call. The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. Mike is calling from Glen Island. Mike, I'm being told that you're familiar with Redman, who I'm a huge fan of. Love Redman. How are you, Mike?
How we doing, brother? Reggie Noble,
yes.
fan who actually shares the same birthday as Boomer Esiason.
Does he? Okay. How's Reggie doing? What's up with Reggie? Where is he at? He doesn't want to call in and talk some sports?
He's out in dirty jerseys like you, man. You know what I mean?
I bet he ain't dealing with the skunk smell. I mean, maybe a different kind of skunk smell, but you know what I'm talking.
I smell skunk right now. It's right in my right pocket, baby. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. What's up, Mike?
Another day, but like I was saying, for the trade deadline, the one thing it wasn't about what we got back from anybody. It was what I wanted to get rid of, and what I mean by that is the Squirrel Man. All right. He is preventing so much in this lineup. It's stupid. You know, he's preventing the tandem, you know, the Batman and Robin up the middle that should be happening every single day with Lindor and Acuna, all right? He's the reason for that. He's the reason why, you know, Mauricio can't play in one position one day. He's the reason why this lineup, you cannot put the same lineup together for 5 days straight. Please, just do it once.
Well, here's the thing. I'm with you, Mike, in that I wanted the Mets to move on from McNeil. A part of me was disappointed at the trade deadline, not only because they didn't get more, but because they didn't clean up the little mess that they have with all these players, whether it's, I want Mauricio at third, but Beatty, Vientos, McNeil, Acuna. They sent Acuna down because they are valuing offense right now. And obviously McNeil, he was their 5-hitter last night. Love him or hate him, you still have to trust him as one of their better bats at the bottom of their order.
You know, it's just that, you know, I think the only spot on this team, you know, McNeil, and I said it since spring training, is DH. That's it. You know, let the young guys get their positions and let them rock. You know, let the second baseman rock. Let your center fielder rock. Let your third baseman rock. Stop flipping everybody around, man. And off the record, be nice to Kayvon Thibodeau for future reference. Have a good day.
Well, where's Red? Tell Reggie I said what's up, and I will. Hey, Reggie, want to come in here, Mike? And thank you for the call. Reggie, want to come in here? Reggie Noble, of course. Redman. I'd be more than well. I love Redman. Matter of fact, he's the first concert that I've ever seen. I saw the Hard Knock. Was it the Hard Knock? Yeah, Hard Knock Life Tour in 1998 at Nassau Coliseum with Method Man, Redman, DMX, and Jay-Z. And I was more about going to see Method and Red. I love those guys. Method Man and Redman, Starsky and Hutch. Love those two. Come on, Reggie. Reggie, he was saying Redman's mad at me for my opinion of Kayvon Thibodeau, which I don't hate Kayvon Thibodeau. All I'm saying is he was drafted to be a beast, and we haven't seen that. That's all I was saying. And this is going back a couple of years. Kayvon Thibodeau, I think, has been disappointing. But I'd more than love to have the conversation with Reggie. Bring him up. Get him on the horn. You could bring Meth with you, too, if you want. I know Method Man, a big Jets fan. You know, I was thinking a lot about the football here as we start to get used to, start to get ready for football. And Hard Knocks starts tonight. I'll be into that. That'll set the mood a little bit. Maybe we could talk about that tomorrow, go around the NFL a little bit. But my issue with the Jets, and I obviously I like Aaron Glenn and want to root for them and want to believe in them. We've been down this road before where it sounds great. All that he's saying is the right things to say, holding guys accountable, discipline, building it the right way, inside out, ground up. I need to see it before I believe it. And maybe even more so than that, the bigger issue is Justin Fields can't throw the football well. I like Fields. I like Fields because his rookie year I had him as a fantasy quarterback, and he was a beast. So I was watching a lot more of him than I would of normal players out of town. And he reminded, obviously when you were on the football, I was going to say, reminded me a little bit of Michael Vick early on in his career. But Fields is a physical runner, an excellent runner of the football. He just can't throw it consistently enough. Those are my concerns with the Jets. Whereas, they have some talent. There's going to be some level of expectation. We need to see how they're going to play in year one under a rookie head coach in Aaron Glenn. And also we need to see that on top of having a young quarterback that has had deficiencies throwing the football. I don't care how good you run it. If you can throw it, it's going to be an issue. So that's my hesitation to go all in on the Jets and go over their win total or whatever you want to say. I think I heard Boomer and Gio talking about it. I'm pretty sure they said both for the Jets and Giants were 5.5. Whereas at least with the Giants, the biggest deterrent for the Giants early on in the year is the schedule. And I'm not going to let that impact my thoughts. I don't believe in Russell Wilson the way that I used to. I think there may be an over-inflation of what Russell Wilson is now. We saw it with Pittsburgh last year. I think he's okay. I don't think he's great. But either way, he should be an upgrade over what they had. Will that be enough, plus the defense with Kayvon Thibodeau, Redman's guy, with Kayvon Thibodeau being, and not just him, obviously, with everybody else, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Burns, all those guys. Will they put it together defensively to where they just need solid play from the quarterback, Neighbors, big weapon, big playmaker, all that stuff, and run the football well enough? I'm getting the feeling that the Giants could be trusted more with the solid foundation, even with the difficult schedule, trusted more to win more games now than the Jets in year one with a rookie head coach with a quarterback who struggles to throw the football consistently. Nick is calling from South Carolina. What's up, Nick?
Hey, Sal, how's it going?
Good, Nick. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I heard you had a little skunk problem in the house.
Yeah, I did. Can you help me out?
Absolutely. You want to get yourself some regular bowls, soup bowls, whatever. Put one in every room in the house. And then fill it with white vinegar. And just leave it there for a day. Probably within 24 hours, the smell will be gone.
All right, so that's good to know for future reference, Nick. The smell it's gone already. I want to prevent it from happening again. How do we prevent that from happening again?
Well, you could buy some skunk repellent, and they sell it in pellets, or like you can go to I don't know if they have a Tractor Supply out there by you in Jersey, but you can get a predator urine, like coyote urine and stuff like that. You put it around your yard, and then the skunks will smell that and stay. They won't come near you. They'll stay away.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the call, Nick. We appreciate the advice here. And by the way, my grandfather, who was an exterminator, rolling over in his grave, he would grab squirrels by the throat if he found them in a house and just bare hand them. Me, I'm running the other way. Daddy, Grandpa, help me out. But, squirrel a little different, although it's in the house. I don't know what the hell you do there. But same thing. So snake repellent. That's what the guys were telling me last time. I would get some snake repellent. And by the way, you're right, Hoff. That smells too for a day or two outside, the snake repellent. And how long does that last? I just want to live in a boarded up, no animals, no bug zone. Haven't we evolved enough as a society where we could get to a spot where we could keep these things away from our homes? Wildlife. You can't mess with it. Skunks, snakes, knock on wood, haven't dealt with the bears. And even worse now, The earthquakes. What the hell's going on here? Oh, yeah, like it's a new thing, and we do live on an island, Manhattan, New York, whatever it may be. Dude, I mean, earthquakes were never a thing, ever, in this region, ever. Now, all of a sudden, we're getting 3s on the Richter scale? Come on. Half your wife was in a panic the other night. I heard it. I was up there riding shotgun with Mitch, and Hoff was trying to calm his wife down with the earthquake.
Yeah, but it doesn't take much for her to get into panic mode, so let's be honest with you. I know it was like a 5 on the Richter scale, but I mean...
Was it an actual 5?
I think maybe 4.5 it was. It was close.
Did anything shake or break in your house?
I know the house shook. That's what the initial problem was. They thought it was maybe like a...
Yeah.
They didn't know what was going on, but yes, it was shaking.
Dude, if you look back to when the first one that happened in Jersey was, I'm pretty sure it was exactly when I moved into my house, April 2024. It was like the first month we were in Jersey. And my wife's like, I think we just had an earthquake. And I'm like, huh? What? What are you, nuts? But this was never a thing.
No, it's happened now, I think, in the past year or two, it's happened about 4 times. There's been aftershocks. I don't know if you count those as real earthquakes.
Anything that says that it registers to me, we haven't.
What are the bad ones? Like, what's the really bad earthquake?
6.7 on the Richter scale? I don't know. That just came to my mind.
6.7?
I don't know. I would think over 5 probably would be one that I don't know. You can look this up.
I think anything is pretty bad, though, right?
The only earthquake that I think of when I think of big earthquakes is the one that happened during the World Series in 1989. Yeah, I mean, it was 10 years old, and that happened in California, which is known for earthquakes. Not New York or New Jersey, which is not. Now, if you look that one up, I'd be curious to see what that was, but I bet you that was pretty up there on the Richter scale.
Question for you, because this actually came up at our family outing on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, if there is an earthquake, and they tell you to go to a certain location in the house, where are you going?
To the location that they tell me to go to.
What's the location, though? Like, are you really going to the basement?
Well, it shouldn't be the right spot. I thought you had to have isn't there like a safe room that usually, oh no, I'm thinking tornadoes.
Right, tornadoes.
Yeah, remember in Wizard of Oz, like they have that thing you go underneath. Tornadoes, yeah, you would go to the basement, I guess.
Right, like you go like to the middle.
I think you go under a table.
Yeah, but what is that about? I think that's a lazy take.
No, it protects you. Anything that falls is going to fall on the table.
First of all, if you're in a house and it collapses,
6.9 by the way in 89.
Okay, that's not good.
6.9 on the 6.9 magnitude earthquake close significant. Yeah, so 6.9.
We didn't get there, but anything that like if the house collapses and you're under a table, I think that's just selfish for the people that are doing like the pickups because it's easy to locate. It's rather than you being like,
what do you mean the pickups?
If you don't make it.
Hoff, come on, man.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you got to protect yourself. You go under.
You're gonna get crushed anyway.
No, not if
you
you're
just
under
get
a table.
flattened by a table.
I think that if the table's strong, I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm not prepared for this. I was never trained in earthquakes or dealing with skunk or bear. Like, this was never a thing. Traffic, yes. People with guns, yes. Like, you try to, people with knives, yeah. You heard about that. Like, you got to be safe out there. Nobody ever said, like, hey, you know what? Watch out for those bears. One day you're going to be old and have a house on your own. And when you bring out the garbage, there might be a bear there waiting for you. Or, hey, in case of an earthquake, like if we lived in California, maybe a different story. And by the way, maybe we have to start changing now. Because if it is a thing, it seems like there's one every day. We're what? Okay, a 3 on the Richter scale was the one today, the aftershock?
Yeah, something like that. 2.5. Now, I'm waiting for the tornadoes. Those are coming soon, too.
I think of 2 things when I think of earthquake. 89 World Series and the wrestler. You remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember him, the earthquake?
Him in Tugboat. But it wasn't Tugboat. It was...
At first, it was earthquake, and then,
Typhoon.
Yes. Tugboat turned into Typhoon.
Yes, that was nice.
Yeah, he almost killed Hogan.
Many times. That almost broke my heart, those moments. Those were, first of all, when you put your butt in somebody's body or face, it feels devastating to me as a person.
Yeah. BT and Sal. On the fan, back to the baseball. Jeff is in Oceanside. What's up, Jeff? Jeff, are you with us? Guess not. Caesar is calling from Dallas, Texas. Caesar?
Hey, Sal. Here's the thing. The part with Boone that's frustrating is, and I understand what you're saying, but the manager is supposed to correct things that he sees wrong on the field. We lost the World Series because of bad defense, bad base running. Continues to happen. Who's it on if it's not on the manager? And when he calls in a pinch hitter usually, and I know it's by the book. Right now it looks like they're platooning, or at least were before he hurt his hamstring last night. They were going to platoon the new guy we just got with Dominguez. But the thing that's frustrating with him is every decision that he makes in game seems to blow up in his face. Williams had 5 of the last 7 outings he had given up at least 1 run. So what do? You put him in a 1-run game in the 9th. Everyone in the world who's a Yankee fan knew they were going to blow that game. I turned to my girlfriend, I looked, I said, there's a greater than 50% chance we're losing this game going into the bottom of the 9th up by 1, because he's bringing in Williams to pitch. And he's shown that he's given up runs, at least 1, 5 out of the last 7 outings. He makes no adjustments whatsoever. I'm sorry, but it is on Boone. His in-game management is terrible. When he brings in pitch hitters, I don't know how many times over the last month I've seen him put a pinch hitter in, take someone out, and the guy who he puts in is out in 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Worst at bat you can see.
But what you have to understand is Aaron Boone is doing exactly what the front office wants him to do. He's an extension of the front office.
Well, that's the problem, then. That's why you need a new manager. You need a manager in there with some stones.
They hired him, and they had Joe Girardi. They didn't want that. They went away from that.
Well, I guess they want to lose. That's what we're going to do.
Okay,
we're
Caesar,
just going to lose them.
But that's exactly right. So then, or their counter is going to say, yeah, well, we made it to the World Series last year.
Well, this is the problem with the Yankees. It's organizational, and you already said it.
Well,
they really do not care about winning. All they care about is filling seats, having 40,000 people there every night, making the playoffs. They do not care about winning.
I disagree with that, Caesar. Very good call. You get back to us. Thank you for the call. We appreciate the passion. They care about winning. They just do not prioritize that over everything else. They think their way of halfwaying it, holding on to the prospects, not going all in over the top for a certain trade, trying to develop younger players at the big league level. Those are things that they think are beneficial to the organization, whereas I look at that and say that's not prioritizing winning right now. I don't philosophically agree with the way the Yankees operate. At my core, my fundamental beliefs are far different of what it takes to be successful than what they do. Now, they'll say that, well, you're just a talk show host fanboy. We're the ones who are doing this, and we've had a sustained run of success that is unmatched. And it's hard to counter that when they reference saying we were in the ALCS in 2022 or in the World Series last season. I can counter it. They don't want to hear it. But back to your point where you're blaming Boone, that's fine. It's not just Boone. That's all that I'm saying. If you fire Boone today, the Yankees' problems structure-wise, the construction of the roster, and the lack of accountability, they still exist because they were in place before Aaron Boone got hired. Unless they want to change course and go in a different direction, philosophically, nothing is going to change. And you're just going to have to live with the fact that they are going to try to outmatch their opponent and hope that when they get healthy and are full, that their bats will lead the way for once in the postseason. And it will overcome the other areas of deficiency, mainly the sloppy play. BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019.
Mets or Yankees, Jets or Giants, doesn't matter. WFAN breaks it all down with passion, knowledge, and non-stop New York energy. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
I'm Jet Day here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. I'm taking the Marlins on the money line over the Astros tonight. They've been 11-5 since the All-Star break. Cal Quantrill on the mound for Miami. He's 4-8 with a 4.79 ERA, but in his last 3 starts, all since the All-Star break, he's only allowed 1 run, and the Marlins have won every single game that he has been on the mound. Take them on the money line. I'm Denton Day from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly, and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me, and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
Many tire dealers will sell you Falcon tires, but Town Fair Tire doesn't just sell Falcon tires, they sell them at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, they give you free services for the life of your Falcon tires. That's an unbeatable deal only Town Fair Tire can offer, because Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Before you begin your road trip, you need to ask yourself the important questions. Like, do you really need 5 full suitcases? How about your full-size volleyball net? And what if they don't have your favorite hot sauce in Idaho? Fortunately, the answers are here. With the new Kia Sportage X-Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. So go ahead, pack more. Bring the essentials and the not-so-essentials. It's up to you. Your adventure rolls on either way. The new 2026 Kia Sportage X-Pro with class-leading cargo space and second-row legroom. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second-row legroom and cargo space behind second-row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's creoninfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
The biggest football contests in Vegas, Circa Million and Circa Survivor, are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million, pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week. No point spread, lasts the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
You matter, and so does your well-being. If you're facing tough moments, struggling with anxiety, depression, thoughts of suicide, or substance use, help is here anytime you need it. Call, text, or chat 988 for free confidential support. New Jersey's 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here 24/7 for you or someone you love, with trained counselors who listen and care without judgment. You matter. Remember New Jersey's 988. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
Route 22 Toyota is serving up hot off the grill savings. Flip your current car into a new Toyota with incredible zero down leases on the area's largest selection of new Toyota models. And for those on a diet, Route 22 Toyota has all the makes and models of budget-friendly used cars starting under $10,000. Plus, everyone drives this summer with their goal of 100% credit approval. So get them while they're hot. Hot off the grill savings, that is, at Route 22 Toyota in Hillside, New Jersey. Offers for qualified buyers with primary lender approval. See dealer for details.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's out back on the Fan. Of course, Eminem referencing Reggie right there. Reggie Noble. Love Redman. And Kayvon Thibodeau. Just hope he has a big year. I mean, come on, we got to raise our expectations, Reggie. Let's get Kayvon Thibodeau to have that impact that we expected him to have when the Giants drafted him. And if he doesn't do it this year, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the Giants are loaded up defensively. I wonder how aggressive they're going to be. Look, I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm actually, I don't know, I hesitate to say that I'm excited. But I am. A part of me is excited about the NFL season with the Jets and Giants. It's different. Refreshing from a Jets perspective. No more, thank goodness, Robert Saleh and that disaster. They finally have what we hope could be a real coach here. Now, I loved Aaron Rodgers. It obviously didn't work out, but even from that, it's nice to have a breather from the nonstop Rodgers talk. And we could focus on building this thing the right way, how this team is going to look with Aaron Glenn and with Justin Fields and obviously everybody else, and see what they can do. They got to go out there and execute. And from a Giants perspective, man, they have a defense that should be as good as anybody else in the NFL. Abdul Carter was the one player that I wanted them to draft. They did. Obviously, there's going to be an excitement level about seeing Jackson Dart get in the games if he does this year. I'm not so sure that's going to be a case. I think the Giants want him to sit behind Russell Wilson as long as they possibly can, win games, try to make the playoffs, and then next year make that transition. I don't expect that's going to happen. I don't think the Giants will be that good, but who's to say that they can't? Maybe they can do what the Steelers did a year ago. I just want to see some smart, disciplined, well-coached, clean football. Giants have the explosive weapon in Neighbors, who's having a huge camp. I mean, I'm not going to go nuts about the camp numbers, but you would think that the Wilson-Neighbors combination, assuming that they could stay healthy, in particular Neighbors, who's, had a history of being banged up here. Not bad. I'm just saying, with the concussion, I worry about that a little bit, and he's just a physical player. He's got to learn how to protect his body and things like that, maybe a little bit better. But assuming health, Wilson, Neighbors, you need consistent offensive line. I'd like to see them run the ball consistently. But the offense should be better, and the defense should be good. Like, not just better, let's nurse it along. The defense should be a plus defense. And if that's the case, I don't care who they're playing. Should win some games. So I am kind of excited about the NFL season from a local perspective. Obviously, from a national perspective, how can you not be? Football's the best. Fantasy football, all the bets, sitting there watching all the games, going nuts. I mean, I want to enjoy the summer, don't get me wrong, but I'm looking forward to football season. And that should coincide with what we had last year with the Mets and Yankees playoff runs. Hopefully, how long, who knows, but it's the best time of the sports year, September. The Hard Knocks tonight, get you set for that. I do want to enjoy the rest of the summer, though. It's only August, 5th. Still got some time here. Still enjoy some of the summer while we can. Ari is calling from West Orange. What's up, Ari?
Hey, Sal. How you doing? Thanks for taking the call. Appreciate it, and good to talk to you again. Just a lot of conversation, obviously, about the Yankees' lack of accountability, and I've been talking about this with a lot of my friends, and it's you go back to 2023, they missed the playoffs, and Hal said during the season, when things are going south, that there'll be changes made. Nothing happened. Last year, the same thing. They were bad defensively, bad in the base pass. Nothing happened. No changes. I jokingly refer to Brian Cashman as King Cashman. The guy's been there 30 years, basically. I mean, he's been through everything. No chance of him getting fired. Yankee fans just save their breath. Same thing with Boone. Boone I call him Prince Boone because it's King Cashman, obviously. Boone just signed a new 4-year contract last year. He's not going anywhere. The Yankees loved him. We all know that. And And look, last night I agree with you, Sal. It's not on Boone, but the guy just doesn't do himself any favors. You know, he could just quickly going back to Friday night's game when he removes Goldschmidt and he's got to put Bellinger at first. That's why Caballero's in right field, who never plays right field.
Right.
So of course he makes that key error, which opened the floodgates and allowed the Marlins to eventually win the game. And you know, just last thing with the lack of accountability, because you see it on the field, and what's head scratching to me, Sal, maybe you can explain it, is you got basically 4 young players. You got Dominguez, Rice, Volpe, and Wells. You know, Rice and Dominguez get shuffled in and out of the lineup basically almost every day. You know, batting from first anywhere to seventh, the two of them. They sit, they play. It messes them up. Yet Volpe and Wells, who are both the same hitters, both hitting south of 220. These guys play every single day. Nothing happens. They never get benched. Volpe, you know, can make error after error after error, and the manager says he's bleeping elite and everything, and never gets benched. Same with Wells. He only sits
because
after.
You know why?
Yeah,
because Cashman said it. Well, what are the alternatives?
Right, exactly. But that's amazing. You said alternatives. You know, they trade for Rosario a week and a half ago. He just sits on the bench, and then what's laughable is that he gets in the game last night playing third base. It's like, wait a minute here. Why did you bother getting him?
Well, he's not a shortstop. They don't.
Yeah,
want,
I know that, but he can play shortstop, right? That's my point. That's all I'm saying. You know, maybe he's just try something different. I know Volpe, of course, that's what he does. He goes on these home run binges, and the Yankees is like, see, we told you. But then we know that. We know the next month he'll hit like 1 home run, he'll bat 200. That's his game, and that's on the coaching. And you know, I just referenced again how bad they were defensively last year on the base pass, which the Dodgers openly mocked about it. Somehow they got worse.
Yeah.
So this is what we mean about accountability. And there's no accountability.
Ari, you said it as well as anybody could say it. Excellent call. And not to mention that they got rid of Torres and Soto, 2 guys who they were saying were a problem in that regard last year. You know, Soto, you can minimize his defense and all that and stuff on the bases. And by the way, Juan Soto with the Mets is having a career year as far as base stealing goes. So how come he could do that with the Mets, but he couldn't do that with the Yankees when he was a year younger? Soto been fine on the bases to me. High baseball IQ, but that was one of the guys that, wow, Soto, he's not good in right field. Yankees going to be better moving Judge back to right, have Grisham or Belly in center. Okay, yeah, in theory, sure. Get Torres out of here, who was driving us all nuts for years with his lack of baseball IQ or lack of hustle or just awareness out on the field. How's he been doing in Detroit? A.J. Hinch seems to be making the most out of Gleyber Torres, no? This is an organizational thing. And I loved your point, Ari. My favorite thing that you said there, well, you said a lot of good things. But my favorite point was the inconsistencies within either playing time or their spots in the lineup with the younger players. It just, to me, makes no sense. And whatever side of the fence you sit on of how you would approach it, the bottom line is the way the Yankees have approached it with the younger players dating back years has not worked. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. I disagree with the way that they're doing it, and it hasn't worked. Like, even if it were working, I would not agree with how they were doing it. But I'd say, oh, well, what do I know? I mean, it's working for them. I don't like the way that they do it. Not having guys play enough at the minor league level. Not having them ready to, when you bring him up, pencil him in. He's your everyday left fielder. Hit him sixth, hit him first, whatever it may be. You know, Dominguez, pick a guy. Dominguez, Rice, Wells, Volpe. They're all over the place. Wells was leading off, and he bats ninth. Last year he was hitting fourth. This year he's first, batting ninth, batting fifth. He's all over the place. Volpe, same thing. We thought there was a point last year. Oh, he's going to be a leadoff hitter. They move him leadoff. He goes crashing down. Now he's a 7-9 hitter. Like, what are we doing here? Dominguez, same thing. Dominguez, there was thought Boone was in here with us before the season, saying that Dominguez might try him at the leadoff spot. Yeah, ideally, that sounds great. Didn't work out. Tried it once, didn't work. Tried it again, didn't work. I mean, no consistency. And younger players that are clearly learning at the big league level, and it's not working. It's only year one with Dominguez, fine. There's much more there, you hope. It's year 3 with Volpe. Wells has been here a while now, waiting. Like, if we all thought Wells was going to be an all-star this year, and it didn't happen, what? So now next year it's going to happen? What gives us the confidence that that's going to be the case? I thought it was going to happen with Volpe year 2 and year 3. And I was wrong. It's only gotten worse. So obviously something is wrong because it's not just one guy or two guys. And it's not just one time. This has been going on for years. Mike is in Manhasset. What's up, Mike? Hi, Mike.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I got you. What's up, Mike?
Hey, first-time caller. Appreciate you letting me dial in here. So, listen, as a Yankee fan, I pretty much disagree with a lot of what you say on a day-to-day basis, which is, is allowed, and I'm sure,
of course, yeah.
You have a different right. But the one thing I do want to say is that you keep on saying like Jazz should have been benched for getting doubled off at first, or for his response to the media afterwards. But for the number of times you've mentioned it, I'm assuming you still haven't seen what was said.
I did.
Because
I did.
Okay, so what did he say?
Well, yeah, we played it yesterday as well. First of all, he said, all you need to know is that when asked if you would do it again, he said yes.
Right. Well, he was taking the chance that he may have gotten doubled off, right? He was talking about he thought they were going to drop the ball at second.
Right.
And
I know. No, I heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that should not be a reason for getting benched. That's no different than trying to take an extra base and getting taken out.
No, Mike, it was a pop-up to second base. It is a lot different.
I understand that.
No, well, I don't know. If you did understand that, then you would be.
Listen,
if you did understand that, you'd be on my side. You don't. If you're at
Sal, if he drops the ball, at second, there's no infield fly, and the second baseman even admitted to it. He said that I was hoping that he was going to be further off, so that that he was going to go back to the bag, so I could drop the ball and get him out because he wanted him off the base path.
Mm-hmm.
So Jazz was
what?
defending against that potentially, but it didn't work. It got backfired.
Hey,
it's like anything else.
No. But in that spot, your obligation is to get back to the bag. If he drops
100%.
it, okay. If he drops it on purpose, you can throw to second and get Jazz off the base path. That's fine. You still have a runner at first base. You're in the same spot. It's okay. You swap the lesser runner. Hey, that's the breaks. There's no good that can come from Jazz dancing off the bag. There's no way, any way, shape, or form, you can get doubled off of first base on a pop-up to second base. You can't do it. And he said he'd do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he wouldn't get doubled off again. He would attempt to protect. He didn't think he didn't think he made a mistake.
Right.
No, I know, but the way you're saying is like, oh, Jazz should have been thrown off the squad because he said he wanted to get doubled off.
No, I didn't say.
That's the way it was coming across.
I
no one ever said.
I never said.
You did not say when you were first reporting it. You didn't say, hey. He was trying to protect against them, letting the ball drop.
Mike, I got news for you. I don't care what he was trying to do. It's inexcusable. It's inexcususable. Like you could think it's a good play. I don't know if you know. If
I don't think it was a good play. All I'm saying is that you're incorrectly reporting, saying that he would do it again.
First of all, I'm not reporting. I'm talking. No, he said. Do we have the? And thank you for the call, Mike. So if you have it again, queued up. Well, when you get it, let me know. We played this yesterday. I watched the whole thing. I said it. Meredith asked him flat out. Hopefully we have it with the question in there so we could listen to it. But the way that I took it, the second part of it was different. He was explaining that, yes, if the ball dropped, he thought that he was trying to prevent from that being the case, and he thought that he was far enough off the base where he could have made it if the ball dropped in, so yes, he would do it again. But when asked, I think the first one where he answered no to. Now, Dove, do you have the question in there with Meredith? Okay, listen to this. This is the first one from Meredith on Jazz.
Would you do it differently next time, now knowing we know?
No.
Would you do it differently knowing what you would know? How was the answer anything other than yes? Now, the second part of that is explaining in detail about why he said he would do the same thing that he was doing about it's still no. The answer is just no, I wouldn't. You know what? I learned from this mistake. I was trying to get too cute. I know that they were trying to get my speed off the base paths. It was stupid. I can't get doubled off of first base. That's it. There's nothing else to be said about it. It's not a great baseball play. It's not smart thinking. It's not trying to outthink the opponent. This is simple. A guy pops up to second base. You get your ass back to first base and you sit there. If he drops it and throws to second, so be it. There's nothing you can do about it because that's not worth risking getting doubled off there. And I didn't say this should throw him off the team. What I said is this is a repeated thing for the Yankees and in particular Jazz Chisholm. Not that type of level of play, but the lack of accountability. Let's not make it like Jazz is some superstar. I know he made the All-Star team here. He's not some superstar. He gives away way too many at-bats. He's not great defensively. He's been a good team guy going to play third when the Yankees needed that. I respect that. He's got good power for a little guy. Sure, I don't need more power from him. I want better quality at bats more consistently, more sound defense, and certainly more smarts on the base paths. And if you are going to make a mistake, I want to see some accountability. There's no yeah, but, or here's what I was trying to do. You can explain like what you were thinking, but also acknowledge it was not the right baseball play. Stupid. You can't get doubled off of first base on a pop-up in the infield. And if you're that fast and you're worried about your speed, steal the base. Then you'd be on second base with the pop-up. Steal the base, which he hasn't done for nearly enough of. So it's not going hard after Jazz. It's one bad example. Austin Wells walking off of second base. Now, if he said, yeah, I wouldn't have done things differently, then I'd be going after him. He acknowledged that he made a mistake. That's all. I don't, like, getting thrown down on the base paths is not great, but it happens in baseball quite a bit. Guys make mistakes, guys run into outs, guys get doubled off, guys get sent home, meaning you, on the Stanton base hit the other day, sending Grisham home. I can't even go nuts about that. I didn't think it was smart, knowing how hard the ball was hit off the bat. You got to be able to read that as a third base coach, but I'll live with that. At least they were aggressive there, making the defense make a play. What Jazz did just doesn't happen. You can't get doubled off of first base on a pop-up to the second baseman. And anything other than I was wrong, I screwed up, out of his mouth afterward is unacceptable to me. We'll finish up on the phones. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Taking a Cadillac is more than just taking a drive. It elevates every journey. It's the smooth excitement of an all-electric Lyric, which I drove last summer, was great. The exhilarating thrill of pushing the limits in a Cadillac Optic. The liberating freedom in the expansive XT6, or the confidence that commands attention in an Escalade or Escalade IQ. Discover which Cadillac is right for you and elevate every journey. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer. BT and Sal on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
So the Yankees were able to not trade top-end prospects, at least ones that aren't ranked very high, because you never know what the next few years are going to look like. And they were able to bring in 6 different players. 5 of the 6 are here next year.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. Kyle Schwarber has never finished higher than 15th in MVP voting, but the Philly Slugger is making a strong push to win the award this season. Whether you like Philly or not, it's easy to root for Schwarber. This year, he's taken it to a new level. He's the first NL player to reach 40 homers. If he keeps up this pace, he could help lead the Phillies back to the World Series. I'm Andrew Perloff.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size. Because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hey, hello. Listen to my voice talking to you about the new Old Spice NFL collection at Walmart. Now listen to my smell. I smell like NFL stars Jared Goff, CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley, C.J. Stroud, and George Kittle. I smell like greatness. Why? Because I'm wearing Old Spice's new NFL collection. How can you put the greatness of the NFL into a smell, you ask? You can't. But Old Spice can. And they did. Smell like Suntown and Speed, Driftwood and Drive, Sea Tides and Toughness with the Old Spice NFL collection available at Walmart. Smell like the greatest smell in the NFL with Old Spice.
How good is a perfectly cooked tomahawk steak? The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your meat. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense now and enter code word BOOMER for 15% off at chefiq.com.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Juice box. I'm a mom.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check. Oh, hot sauce. Take it.
Really? I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins, a balloon. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 per month on Experience Beyond. Finance agreement $829.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay out via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit BenzFam.com.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Pour Downy in the rinse change.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Call of the Day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Adam from South Jersey. What's up, Adam?
I'm going to disagree with you. They are stupid, all right? And I'm going to tell you why they're stupid. They're stupid because they're playing baseball by a damn script, Sal.
Yep.
A script they won't deviate from. I'll tell you, as a football coach, Sal, I got a lot of peers that, you know, football coaches do the same things. They make scripts, right? And some of these coaches, no matter what happens, they stick to their script. And it doesn't matter what the play situation is. Me as a football coach, what I would do is have what I call the loose script. And let's say on 1st and 10, I ran a dive and he lost 4 yards. And my scripted second play was a toss. I'm not running the toss. I'm running a play-action pass, and I'm changing it. It's the same thing with baseball. They have a script. This guy pitches this inning. This guy pitches this inning. Like
it's infuriating. It's infuriating. I can't watch the script. I can't.
Sal, I turned the game off when Williams came in because I said, you know what? I know what's happening. I'm not going to watch
knew the
this.
script.
I went down to my basement.
We knew the script, and they didn't. How did they not know the script? They're the ones who wrote it, for goodness sake.
It drove me out my mind. I went down to my basement. I sat down. I had a drink. I looked at my phone. I saw they lost in the 10th inning. I chuckled, and I said, you bunch of morons. Because that's what they are. And for whatever reason, they think that everything they're doing scripted is going to work out. And you know what? You might be right. The talent might overcome it. They're probably going to win games eventually. It's going to happen. They're not going to lose these games forever. But the bottom line is this, and I'm a diehard Yankee fan, 56 years old all my life. They got no chance to win nothing. Nothing.
Well, I disagree with Adam there. A good call, of course, the fire and passion from Adam. They still have a chance. Now, I'm not saying it's likely. I didn't feel it was likely last year. I'll say the same thing I said last year about this team because I think they're worse this year. But I didn't think they were any good last year, aside from obviously the Soto-Judge all-time combination, and yet they got to a World Series. I don't think they're any good this year, meaning I know that they have strengths. Fried, when he's on, is a strength, a real ace. Obviously hasn't been that the last couple of times out. They needed that, but you know, it's going to happen with even the best of starters. They're going to go through a little down period here. But they have Fried, game one of the postseason, assuming that they get there. They have Judge, assuming he comes back healthy, and a lineup that, at their best, can strike fear in the opposition. I didn't think they were going to go to the World Series a year ago. They did. I don't think they're going to the World Series this year. They could. But these are a very, I didn't react or overreact to the sweep by the Marlins. Last night surprised me. I thought they were going to win last night. There's still 2 more games to go in this series with the Rangers. Let's see what happens here. If they lose this series, that's a problem. They got the Astros coming in. They've got to win. They've got to actually start winning some games. You could only ignore the losses or the results so long and say, okay, it'll get better. This will happen. That'll happen. At some point, and sooner than later, the Yankees need to get it going. Taco Frank's in Hamilton, New Jersey. What's up, Taco?
What's up, Evan? How we doing? Buddy, that was one of the top 3 most awkward Sal Licata calls of all time, buddy. I was so great.
I didn't know what to do. Dan and Warwick, of course, giving us nothing yet. I didn't know what to do with them.
More than any other host I think that there's ever been on the station, you hate when somebody doesn't know your name, and it makes for such great radio.
And he did it twice. Because that's something like, come on, I get that not everybody knows who I am. I understand that. That's fine. But you call on the show, like the least you could do is know who you're talking to, whether it's me, somebody else, whoever it may be. I mean, come on, twice. He just didn't care. Not only about that, he didn't care about anything. Anyway, what's up, Taco?
Anyway, man, I'm calling on Boom, but easy with using the word Soto and career year or anything, buddy. He's batting .248. I know he's got 15 steals or whatever, but careful with your words there.
You're angry. You're still angry, Taco.
Buddy, it was best for both of us. It was time to move on. I'm throwing in the towel though, man. I think like you've done, I've always stuck up for Boom, but I just think it's time to shake things up. I mean, you never know. It worked for the Phillies in 22. They brought Thompson in, and then it was earlier in the season. But I'm tired of the base running. I'm tired of the lineups, all the stuff you're talking about, man. I want a manager that holds people accountable the way BT holds Little League umpires accountable.
Ooh, Taco Frank. Oh, that's great. I can't blame you. Joe is in Colonia. What's up, Joe?
Oh, hey, Sal, thanks for taking my call. I hear a lot of people calling talking about firing Boone. How come no one talks about firing the analytics department?
Well, I mean, look, that's a whole different thing, and we get into it, Joe, and thank you for the call. The manager is generally going to be at the forefront. He's on the field. He's in the uniform. He's answering the questions every single night. So he's the one who's going to get the bulk of the blame. That's why I'm trying to tell you, to me, it would not be on Aaron Boone. It's an organizational thing. You can't just fire the analytics department. You could change your philosophy only if you have a new head of operations running things. That's, to me, what I would have done in 2021. I just don't fundamentally agree with the way the Yankees organization operates. That's all I can say. All right, that does it for us. Thanks to everybody who listened and called. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks to Dove, as always. Hoff as well. Be back again tomorrow. Same place, same time, 10 a.m. Looking forward to spending the day with you then. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Evan and Tiki, they're coming up next.
The Yankees.